Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keon and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill. When we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back, everybody, to the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. Yes, we are back like Marty McFly in his house. After missing an episode on Monday, we apologize for that, y'all, but we gonna make up for it today, I promise you. Welcome to the live episode. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
This Key. Now, can I adjust that for a minute? Because you got me in a bit of a hot water situation.
Hot water situation.
Hot water cornbread on Monday.
Hot water cornbread.
Yeah, because, I called my mom as I always do after I leave here. Not thinking anything of it.
Okay.
She was like, oh, you finished the show? I said, we ain't do it today. She was like, it would have been nice if you would have told me. I'm like, Mom, she's like, I said, you don't even start from the beginning? She's like, would have been nice if you told me. I'm like, Ma, you could watch it. You don't have to watch a lot. It would have been nice if you told me. I said, Roger, Mom.
She wanted straight from the horse's mouth.
I was like, yo, my bad. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna give you her number. So next time she can get at you.
But she don't. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Now listen. I love Mama, but she telling on herself now.
Yeah.
If she just hit that bell and make that thing.
I was going to ask people what they need to do. Make it ring-a-ling-a-ling.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Because she didn't ring-a-ling-a-ling it. Now, to be fair, I haven't gone over there because she said, I don't know where the bell is on the non-app. She's on the internet. I'm like, it's got to be there. Matter of fact, let me look right now while we're talking.
Fair.
Go ahead.
You got to tell her where the bell is so she can make it ring-a-ling.
Now, I'm going to tell her how to make it ring-a-ling right now. Well, as soon as y'all, what's out in the streets? What y'all heard?
What you got?
Yo, did y'all hear the new first down procedures supposed to happen in 2024?
Ooh, this should be good.
The camera? I didn't hear it.
So, kind of, sort of. So, you know how now, like, if there's a spot that needs to be, the ref will come in and they'll mark it if it's 2 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
They're taking that out.
Yes.
It's going to be automated.
Yes.
Now, they didn't go into the science. I don't know if it's the same thing like they do in like tennis and like baseball and hockey because it could travel the distance of the puck.
Yeah.
But basically, they're still going to have the chain gang because it's a reference point, right? So if, for example, for the players, they got to know where the first down is, right? So the chain gang still is going to be there. But when it comes from measurements, I think they're going to go. But my fear is, though, I don't think you can challenge it, though. If it's automated, I don't think you can challenge
the first down?
Yeah.
I don't even care, honestly.
No?
How often do they even overturn it?
What'd you say?
They almost never overturn it anyway. So it's like.
That's true, too.
You got a point.
It's like, and that's the thing McDermott always did. I'm telling you, I'm like, no!
You're not going to win.
No, you're not going to win it. The refs ain't going to say I'm wrong. No, you're not going to win it. It's always an estimate anyway. Yeah. Because you think about it. The guy has to see where his knee touches the ground, where the ball is. Right. Same time. Right. Then from there, he has to put his foot on that line.
He got to walk it.
He's got to walk to it, put his foot on the line. Then he has to take the ball and toss it to at least the hash. Yeah. Who knows if that ref? He's not He's not exactly right across from him. So what he does, he might be off by a little.
Yep.
He gonna place it.
Yep. And when them placement, it could be off.
It could be off by
edges, whatever. But now I feel like at least with the refs doing it, it has the human error. So like, if they mess up, they're like, okay, yeah, he's good. But now it's all like straight on AI and camera. So like, I don't know, man.
You know what else bothers me?
What?
When it's 2nd and 10, and they'll call, what is it? They'll call, we'll say 2nd and 5, and they'll call defensive. We'll just say defensive holding because I can't think of a 5-yard penalty right. Offsides, and they moved them. They moved the marker.
Yeah.
Now it's 3rd and inches. Like. It's 2nd and 5 or 3rd and 5, and it goes to the 5-yard penalty, and it's still 3rd and.
Right. Why is that not an automatic first down?
Yeah,
I forgot I took a payment to rig this game. My bad. Right, I gotta move this up a little bit. Sorry, guys.
I'm like, that's why I'm like, I don't even care because they never overturn it. So you challenge it all you want, and they want you to.
Now, the place where I think is going to be an advantage and is going to be good is especially when Josh make those quarterback sneaks, when he go in the pile. I don't care what nobody say. Them line judges, they can't see where the ball.
Wait a minute,
dude. You got bodies everywhere.
Wait a minute, flag on the play. Whoa! When Josh does a quarterback sneak, you say?
I'm just saying when he goes in the pile.
When is this? We got Ray Davis and we got.
You still gonna see that about 15 times this season?
You, sir.
Hey.
You still gonna
Stop
see
the
it.
cap.
Listen,
even if Ray Davis do it, you know what I'm saying? Like when they go in them and
That's better.
those scrums, like the line judge, he can't see where that ball is.
Ray Davis don't make $50 million a year. That's better.
You know what I'm saying? So I think when it comes to those situations, I think I'll be happy for them to use that because, like, once the ball hit the mark, it is what it is. Like I don't care if you push him back. He got the line of gain. He got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think in that aspect it'll be better. But I don't know about the other ones. But I'm excited to see how it works.
You said line of gain. That sounded mad professional. I'll give you that.
No, but I mean, I think Roy might be right on this. He says like the UFL chipping the ball. I mean, it would have to be if they're going to automate it.
They say they're not doing that.
They're saying it's not going to be a chip.
Yeah, they say they're not doing
but
that.
It's already in MetLife Stadium.
Huh?
They already installed the system.
So what
at
is it,
MetLife.
like a laser system or something like that?
I don't know what they use for like tennis, but it's the same technology they use for the tennis balls.
I think it's radar or something.
Probably radar.
It's radar.
Yeah, because they replay it in what is it, AR?
Yeah, they got to do it in baseball too. They got the little automated batter's box.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's got to be the same technology.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm interested to see how it works, though.
I don't care. Let's do it.
We got to see the stats on accuracy. As soon
What
as
does
that comes
John
about.
Perry say about it though?
Oh man,
I want to know what John Perry got to say about
I
it.
want to know how much John Perry is getting paid.
I don't even care what John Perry's getting paid.
We
ain't got to pay for it. Pagula does anyway.
All right. What else have we heard?
how do y'all feel about that?
What?
John Perry getting hired.
It's funny because they asked McDermott in his press conference about the hiring,
Yeah.
and he said, we're fortunate enough to have that on our staff, and he can help us with the game day decisions, the interpretation of the rules, and situations. And they asked him, he said, is this going to expand it past Sundays? He's like, yeah. So I like it. I do.
I think, I hate to say it, but I think McDermott is seeing the error of his ways and he's moving to a different direction, like not a situation that he's used to. Like he's embracing the change.
Nah.
That part right there.
I think,
Oh yeah.
without saying it, tell us how to cheat and get away with it.
Well, that yeah. But
What can we get away with?
I mean, at this point,
You know what I'm saying?
you done tried doing it the honest way. Like, what they gonna do?
Like,
They're
we've
not gonna
never
take
done
the
this
ring from
before.
you.
Like, has any other Bills regime ever did this?
Nobody's done it before. It's never been done before.
Come on, man.
This is new.
Come on, eh?
So this is
I'm telling you, he desperate. He changing.
I agree. No.
I think
agree with that.
desperation is
Stop
valid
right there. I agree with he's desperate.
Yeah.
Because they didn't put a bug in his eighth now. You like living in Western New York? You like having a job in Western New York?
Hey,
You better make it happen because this is your last ride.
man, he going like Bill Belichick, but like, and he's doing it the clean way. Oh, we hired a guy.
Yeah. So
How do we do this?
He had staff that was responsible for, clock situations, challenge situations, and stuff like that. But they must have been terrible at their jobs, and Sean was trying to, go as long as he could without having to replace that position. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you already had something like that in house, and then you go and replace that with something better. Obviously, that's saying what we had in place wasn't working.
Are you talking about that team that he had that had him with 9 of 30 on challenges?
Yes,
those guys.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to replace them.
That's what the stats was for the colleges.
Oh yeah,
That was the math. He was like 27.
Man.
He was, I think, second worst only to Mike McDaniels.
Oh man.
Second worst only Mike McDaniels. And as much as I like Mike McDaniels as a figurehead on the Dolphins,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be in that company. I don't want to be down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. McDermott needs the help. It's hard at this point for him to ask for it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When he was at his best, he had veteran guys around him who could give him, a lot of wisdom and advice and stuff like that. And So I say all that to say I think this is a great hire. I think it's good that he's getting somebody in there that's got a long tenure of experience in the league and can break things down pretty fast for Sean McDermott, because let's look at it from this perspective. If he's still 50-50 right now, because he told Sal in the press conference, listen, don't even ask me whether or not I'm still playing calling plays or not, or if I'm giving that to Babbage until like the middle of training camp.
This man said, put that question in your back pocket.
Right,
that was him saying, shove it, him. Don't ask no more.
And then Sal had to come with the compensatory question after that, just to try and cover his own self. But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, he was. But I think with that in mind, it's like if there's still a potential for me calling plays, I need the information faster. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I need guys that can process this, situation to situation as fast as I have to process play call to play call. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's hard to do when you got a lot of guys around you that don't have, nearly the amount of experience that you have.
Right. And then when those situation comes in, nah, Sean, you're not gonna win that, bro. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been a analyst for a league, a referee analyst like for a long time, so he got the knowledge.
I think he was official for 19 years or something.
So you know what I'm saying? He would know. Yeah, you might get that nod. They ain't overturning that. Don't even waste your time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Outside looking in likes the hire. I agree, Roy. He said there's got to be a way to detect the ball in the pile, though. As far as the
right, that technology has got to be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Because like with tennis, and even it was tennis and what else? Baseball. Like it's open. Like you can see where the ball goes. There's no coverage or anything like that. So that could be something that I think they're going to have to adjust that. At some point it's going to have to be, we got to go further than just assuming that, I
think this is a 1-year trial, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, so they're gonna see how it goes. I think they're gonna start it in preseason, and then if it's good or if it's legit, then they're gonna put it in everywhere. But I heard that it's in MetLife right now. They already got this.
I hope it's nothing like that tail they used to put on the hockey pucks. And remember that when they had that year when they put the tails on the hockey, so you could watch, so you could follow it on the ice. It looked like
and they had like a little on-screen tracker.
It was like a blue trail, like it was a comet all over the place. It was like,
you know what? I do remember that now.
It was like, yeah. And I was little, so I'm like, all right, cool. At least I know where the puck is. But
yeah.
Tell me about this. Tell me what you guys think about this. Okay. This is an addition I had. Just a suggestion. We get a lot of likes on this show.
Okay.
I don't care about algorithms. I don't. What I want to know, I want people to timestamp the points that make them like the show. I want to know what part makes you laugh. What part makes you so. It could be more than one. It could be whatever it is. I want to know, because that finger, I'm like, what did I do? What did we say? Was it something that I fall down and I stumbled? Did I say something that you just agree with? What is it?
Okay. So there's a science to it. You ever heard of David Shands?
No.
So David Shands is he's got a course on building a 7-figure podcast.
I know about that. Yeah. I didn't know his name though.
So there's a process early on that I learned when we were still building the marriage mastery stuff. And what it really comes down to is you have to do long form videos first. You have to do a podcast format first so that people can get to know you. So I my point in bringing all that up is to say it may not be one consistent thing show to show that we do. It could just be they love the personality. They love you.
Kind of what I'm getting at is I just want to be able to relive that moment. I want to
You want to go back and see
and look at it. Yeah, I want to see oh snap, that did happen. Oh snap,
There's so much. We got what 80 or 90 videos almost.
Yeah, now? We're up there. And the thing is, like, I'm just a big fan of our people. They're not just fans of us. I'm fans of them. So I want to know what did it for you. Liking it, thumbs up, sure. But everybody tells their subscribers like the video before you even. Your show might suck. Like the video. No. I want to know why you like the video.
What about it?
Tell me what it was. Tell me what you see.
Just be prepared for if they don't want to tell you why.
They might not, but I want the floor to be opened up.
Okay.
And I even figured out how to timestamp just so I could tell them to do it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you got to do is type in you literally just have to type in a number, like
Oh
Three
yeah. I thought you were saying
54.
you found out how to like.
No, no.
Roy said, "When y'all become the Three Stooges."
I
I
think
used
that
to be
was
curly.
show
I used to be
60
curly, but then I went bald.
I think, yeah. No, you are curly. Curly was bald. Curly was the one with the short hair. Larry was the one with the curly hair.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
see,
Mo
I
had
don't
the bowl cut.
even do
Nobody
that
slim
right.
than Mo.
Nobody.
I'll be shump before I'm Mo. I am not nobody. He was the boss, but Junior, you could be Mo. Anyway,
What? That's not the Three Stooges then.
but there was really 4 of them.
Huh?
There's really 4 of them
There was
because when Curly got sick, they brought in Shump, their oldest brother. So it was Curly and Mo and Shump were actually brothers. Larry was a friend or cousin or something like that. When Curly got sick, they brought in Shump. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say you was watching this growing up.
I was a big Three Stooges fan.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I watched a lot of black and white TV. Andy Griffin, Honeymooners,
Yeah.
Three Stooges.
Honeymooners, yes.
I Love
I mean, me
Lucy.
and you watched it in
Yo.
syndication, but he watched it live. Like he was watching it when
we
the
only had
episode
3 channels back in the day. Thanks for that too, Mom. Anyway, but yeah, no, and honestly, Ken even knows the Niagara Falls bit. If you guys don't know the Niagara Falls bit, look it up. I used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was about to happen. You say Niagara Falls, and they'd be like, Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn. I'm like, please stop.
Wow.
And it was over with. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but I thought I want to watch. I want to absorb this like the same way you do. So,
It is. It's hard to watch us back and not be like critiquing stuff. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying.
You got any stuff? Because I got stuff, but you got stuff?
No,
You
go
got
ahead.
stuff?
Go ahead.
What you got?
I got stuff. So, Jiminy, I can confirm having 1 championship hurts way more than not having any at all. I sat at 11:30ish on Sunday. I sat in the shower 2 Sundays ago. I sat in the shower and let the water cascade over my head and body as my team season was no longer
I
happening.
don't know how you could say that.
Trust me, it's real. T will tell you, I was going through it. I didn't answer no more. I didn't answer no texts. I went to bed.
Yo, when I watched it, I'm like, oh, they up by 20? There's no way.
People were texting me,
in the
easy
third
game.
quarter, yeah.
People text me. I'm like, yo, like literally,
Yeah.
I'm so invested that I was panicking the whole time, the whole series.
What?
Even when they were up by 20, I was still panicking.
Wow.
I just didn't feel good about this team, but knowing, but see, this is the thing when you got to put yourself in the shoes of, for 82 games, all you hear is the defending champs. They ain't gonna say that next year. It's over.
Yeah.
It's done. The year is over now. You know, we had 82 games to get it back. Shut up. Go ahead. Give me a good one now. Nah, but I can confirm it was tough. Huh?
Yeah.
I think you just let them work back because it's still laws. I mean, despite them being down by 20, like you can't say, oh, Denver is gonna win this game. They're down by 20.
Well, they had a very big weakness down low. Like Jokic isn't really a great,
Well, Jokic and Murray were all we had that game, and the bench is our weakness. They've been a weakness all year long.
Yeah.
They've been a big detriment. And Jokic had, what do you have, 34, and Murray had 35 in the game, and we scored 90 points.
I was like,
Christina, Key might go back a little bit earlier than 2005. She said Three Stooges since like 2005, right? She young. It's
Honestly,
okay.
I think the first Three Stooges I watched, I think I can remember. I think I was about 3. Seriously, I think I was about 3 when I first started watching Three
Was
Stooges.
it black and white or color?
Oh, black and white.
Black and white.
Oh,
Yeah, everything was black and white when he was watching TV.
You ain't lying. You had a color TV? Now you know better. Even in '85, we ain't all have color TV.
Oh, listen, I remember when I first got my TV in my room.
Yeah, I was 8.
I was 9.
Yep.
I had like a 13-inch Magnavox.
Yes,
I was
sir.
like, yo, I'm
13-inch Samsung.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember watching anything in black and white.
For real?
Nah.
Matter of fact, my first TV was a little portable TV. I think it was a 9-inch. Mom, correct me if I'm wrong. 9-inch TV screen, and I had no cable until I was about 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have cable until I was 12.
Dude,
Wow.
Dude, my kids now, they got like a 45. Like, yeah, it's a TV, Dad. What's up? I'm like, you have
Damn.
no idea.
You know
Ken
what I'm saying?
won't sleep in my room because my room is a 38-inch. This is too small. I'm like,
What?
kick rocks.
Yo, for real.
Kick rocks.
For real.
38 is small. And it's a Vizio we had freaking
man.
Samsung. I remember when Samsung was first a thing, my mom was like, is this legit? Is this legit? Because she was going to buy a VCR. Hitachi, is this legit?
Ooh, the Hitachi.
Yeah, Hitachi.
Anyway, go ahead.
Remember the floor model TV we had? It had like a little cabinet base in the center. Yeah, the wood.
My mom still got it as a stand.
Huh?
My mom still got hers as a stand.
I would say probably don't work right now.
No,
because like
the sound doesn't work.
Like when I remember I had one of them TVs, the wooden joint, the big one. It would work for a minute, and then I want to say like the last couple of years we had a TV on top of it.
I would say it was a stand for a TV. Yep.
It became a TV stand.
It was a stand for a TV. It's steadfast. I think it's heavy as hell too.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, I remember we used to live upstairs. We had to take that joint to the garbage. I was like, yo, what's in here? Like the back of that TV was like mad.
All
heavy,
of Krypton.
Man.
Yeah.
All of Krypton was in that TV.
Now they just so light and thin. I'm like, that's crazy how technology changes in years, man.
LEDs is a trip.
Yep. All right, what else we got?
Let's see. I don't want to talk about that. We're good on there. So I got some disturbing news about Mac Hollins. I don't know if I want him on.
You said
53
startling?
Startling news. It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
Okay.
I don't know if I want him on 53 after this. Okay.
Why?
I did some deep dives. He don't wear shoes in practice, y'all.
So wait.
He practices barefoot.
What?
Barefoot.
Hold up.
Why?
Catching passes.
Barefoot.
Toes out.
Toes out. Wiggling.
What if somebody step on the toes with the cleats?
Well, I think he'll wear. That's camp. That's
Yeah,
camp. Like right now, they
OTAs.
just ain't no defenders.
Yeah.
Ain't no defenders in OTAs.
There's no There's no
It's still got weird.
What? No. Why?
There's no
Listen, I'm Puerto Rican. We do everything barefoot.
Everything with socks on.
Everything we do is barefoot.
I do
Christina,
everything
back
with
me
socks
up.
on. Fam, everything with socks on.
Huh?
I do everything with everything with socks on.
Thank you. Socks.
Everything with socks. Dude, my mom and two women in my whole life have ever seen my feet. That's it.
I grew up in the Lakeview projects, ran around on concrete barefoot all day long.
Hey.
Grass, concrete, rocks, everything.
Hey, we took the kids to the beach. What I have on?
Socks.
Sneakers. I didn't take my shoes off.
But I understand sneakers with no socks. The man had sneakers and socks.
With the sand.
With the sand.
Bro, that's gonna get all sandy.
I took my
Sandy cheeks all day.
I wouldn't get in the water, so it was like whatever.
Wow.
I was ready for war.
Oh, Roy said Hollins walked around Manhattan barefoot.
Yeah. Oh, he had his
Yo.
Who's this, Roy? Roy,
Yeah.
was it Isabella? He had Isabella working out without his shoes on after a while.
Do he just prefer it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, yo, you're a demon.
I mean, it's probably, well, I don't know if it protects you from stuff like turf toe, but it's a lot more free movement. Like, okay.
There's no constriction on the toes.
Yeah,
I
like
need a restriction.
Realistically, the human body was not designed to wear shoes in the first
What?
place.
That's true.
God didn't give you a fig leaf and some sandals?
No.
But
Dang.
but you think about
You
the
sure?
sandals, it still allow your foot to do this.
I don't wear sandals either.
Exactly.
I'm not wearing
Yeah.
sandals either.
You don't want the chancletas?
Footage is not
Nobody
out.
sees the toes.
Footage is not out.
Wow.
If we ever
Keyshawn got them virgin
pedicures,
toes.
I'm wearing socks to the pedicure.
It's like trying to see under Kakashi Hatake's mask. Like,
I know what it is, but
we
it is
gonna
like
go
that,
on a day long mission to try and find Keyshawn's toes
Matter
and
of
snap
fact,
a picture of them joints.
I got one for you. Remember when and my wife and kids when Damon Williams got the fro,
Yeah.
and he kept trying. He was like, nah.
That's how you use with the feet.
That's how it is.
See,
with the feet.
even Laura with us. She said, "Now I got to see Key feet. What
You
monstrosity are you hiding under them socks?"
I'm sure T will tell you it's not that bad, but I just
Yo,
don't like not having
Keyshawn
socks.
feet probably look like, you remember what I just got done watching? Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
That sound bad.
Listen,
Anything in that
when he
movie?
fought, the big thing was called Master Blaster, right? Dude was huge, right?
Yeah.
He had a helmet on.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this dude had to been like 7 feet, just like swole,
Uh-huh.
crushing everybody. He fought Mel Gibson. He found that he was high pitched frequencies bothered him,
Mm-hmm.
so he got the mask off. Little baby face. Little baby face.
It was like Harlem Nights. Did you step on my bunion? Yeah, so that disturbed me. I wasn't with it.
Oh, I love that. Outside looking in says, hey, I have a father-daughter dinner party to attend, and it's time for dad to get ready.
Man,
Y'all have a
yes.
great podcast and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget, I'm picking the over 90. Okay.
The over 90.
Of course.
OLI, just so you know, this is my quiz. I was going to have a question as the freestand through the show. Before you go, you can put it in the comments later on. This is Memorial Day weekend. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm the only one here that imbibes. Do you have a drink of choice that you will be touching this weekend? Is there something that I want a recipe? I want to know what people are going to be drinking this weekend because I need to relax. I got 2.5 days off. It's going down.
Ooh, you got 2.5 in a row?
2.5 days.
In a row?
In a row. Fam, it took
Nice.
a lot of time to do this, but yeah.
Nice.
Yes, it has.
It took a lot of time to do this.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Mostly tears. So yeah, for everybody, I want to know, what are you guys drinking? Don't say beer because that's boring. I want to know. Give me a recipe if it's something complicated.
But you know I always go with the Long Island, man. Anytime I go somewhere.
Yeah, buddy.
That's it.
Woo.
That's either that or you know what I'll do too sometimes is vodka cranberry.
That's what I got. I got the vodka in the car.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I didn't open it yet, but I got to go to work after
He
this.
just openly admitted, like, yeah, you know, I'm out on the drive. It's in
I
the
got
car.
that in the car right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Roy said water and Crystal Light.
What is it?
Water and Crystal Light.
Nah. Okay.
Cranberry and Red Bull.
You want my heart to stop? My heart be like, nope, this is where I get off. As I drink cold brews daily.
OLI said a blue dolphin on the rocks tonight.
I'm gonna look that up. A blue dolphin.
Yeah, I gotta
It's
see
got
what
blue
that is.
curacao, and I
Never
know it
heard of
does.
that.
I just don't know what else is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to figure this out. So yeah, can we make up an OTA pledge, please?
A OTA.
It depends
pledge?
on what it
Yeah.
is.
Because I don't want to hear no more about Keon Coleman and how great he looks as a rookie. Namely, because let the record show there was a instance before 2014. A young budding rookie,
Yeah.
Samuel Benjamin Watkins, was catching everything.
You just triggered a trap card, sir.
He was tripping.
I'm going in. The topic is, what is an X receiver really?
Okay.
Give me the characteristics of a number one receiver.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because I don't use X, Y, and Z. I don't use those terminologies. I go wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and slot.
Okay.
To me, wide receiver 1 is when you look at the outfit of the team, he's the one who's getting the most targets, he's getting the most yards, he's getting the most catches. So he's getting the brunt of the offense is running through him.
So your one is Dalton Kincaid.
My one is Keon Coleman.
100%.
Keon Coleman.
My one is not Keon Coleman.
So listen, the reason why I say that, I think we said it was a few shows ago where you said he's not Stephon Diggs, which I agree.
Yep.
He's definitely not going to be Stephon Diggs. But I can see a world where he fulfills those yards and those catches. He has the bulk of the catches, the bulk of the yards, the bulk of the touchdowns. I can see a world when that happens. Not to say that a Khalil Shakir or Samuel or Kincaid is not far off from him, but I can still see Keon Coleman leading in catches, yards, and touchdowns.
More than Kincaid?
Yes.
This is my order. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna address your question, but I just wanted to touch that. My order is definitely Kincaid first, because he had, I think it was 90 targets last year, and from what I'm hearing in OTAs, which we're doing OTA pledge, whatever, it's like almost like exclusively him. They're throwing the ball to him all the time.
Who? Keon?
Kincaid.
Oh, Kincaid.
But then I look at to your question about what's next receiver. I don't think we have one, but I think the most dynamic receiver we have is one that people still sleep on. Is Khalil Shakir.
Shakir, yeah.
So I think if you're talking about Coleman, I think, did we talk about this last? What was a successful season for Coleman? I think we talked about that. Was that a text or was it
no?
just my head?
I think it was a comparison between Keyshawn Johnson's stats and would we take that career for Keon Coleman?
I was thinking Keon Coleman would be somewhere 60 to 70 receptions, 600 to 700 yards, maybe 6 to 8 touchdowns.
Now, we're talking about just this year or like basically his average?
This year.
Oh, this year. Yeah. I can see that happening this year.
Or you're talking about
I'm thinking like, so average-wise, like over the course of his career in Buffalo, I see him being the number one wide receiver. I don't think it's going to happen year one as a rookie. I don't think like so. For example, rookie season, I think Dalton Kincaid gets the brunt of the catches and the yards. But I do see a world where like maybe next season or while he's here, he's going to become the number one guy. I could definitely see that happening.
Right.
I think, and this is gonna. I said it before, so it's not like a hot take because you said it, but I think they're gonna draft a high wide receiver next year.
You think so?
I think so. I think Keon Coleman is gonna be Gabe Davis.
You think so?
Not the production.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I think that's gonna be his role. But I think they're gonna bring in somebody like Territory McMillan from Arizona. So he's 6'5", he runs a 4.3. He's huge and he's dynamic. I think, and with the draft capital they have, they can do whatever they want. They could trade everything and they want and get up in the draft high enough to get a quality a quality superstar. I think Keon Coleman is more the possession guy. I think he's more of the high point guy. Well, no, he's not really a high point guy, but he's a big target who's going to learn how to run routes a lot better. Evident by what we've just seen from the first day of rookie minicamp to the last. Even his comebacks are getting a lot less choppy, a lot quicker, a lot more decisive. Your boy Steve Smith would probably attest to that. But I think there will be a limitation with him in separation. So I think they're going to bring somebody in that's going to be that X that's going to get separation, is going to do some of the things that Keon can't. And that's not a knock on him. I think he's going to be here for a while. I think he's going to be as long as he wants to be here. And I think he's going to be very productive. I just think they're going to bring in somebody because they have the capital to do so, that if they're sitting there, they can't deny that. And especially look at how many roles we have to fill next year that are really pressing needs. Next year you have maybe a number one cornerback if Benford doesn't step up. After that, you're getting the Deion Dawkins replacement. You're getting, and I'm not saying that to placate.
Right.
Maybe I am. I don't know.
Right.
But Dawkins is about to be 30 if he's not already. He's getting older. Spencer Brown, he might be gone. So you got to replace those two. But outside of that,
so my question is this, which it's maybe too early to talk about this, but when do we worry about quarterback?
When
do we do it?
What do you mean when you say worry about quarterback?
So people was laughing at the Falcons because they signed Kirk Cousins and they drafted Penix, right? They laughing like, oh, it was dumb. If you look at it, history, it really wasn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Plan.
You look at the Patriots. They got Drake May and Milton.
A succession plan.
But wait, y'all was laughing at the quarterback they drafted being 27 by the time he gets a chance to play.
No, are you talking about Penix? Or no, you talking about?
I'm talking about the kid, the kid that Atlanta drafted.
I wasn't laughing. I'm laughing at the fact they took Kirk Cousins. That's what I'm laughing at.
I mean, to me,
I know you like him. I'm sorry.
I mean, they did pay up.
No, because I remember y'all laughing at that.
They did pay a butt ton of money, and then draft. But I think it's a smart plan because that's how you get franchise quarterbacks. Like you don't do it when the guy is still there. You don't do it when it's too late. So my question is I don't see Josh leaving anytime soon. But when do you prepare while he's still here for the future? When do you do it?
To that point, you have to prioritize, because the more you think about it, if they don't get these wide receivers under control, these pass catchers under control, you're never going to be able to get a franchise quarterback. So you have to either have a franchise quarterback with the above average to what's above good weapons, or you got to get the great weapons with a above average quarterback. You really can't get both outside of the rookie and hitting on a rookie somewhere. Just the money won't allow for it.
But you can't there's no third round.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You got to do that.
It truly okay. So here's what it comes down to. It truly depends on the franchise quarterback you have. The reason the Falcons could get away with doing what they did is because Kirk Cousins is a guy that moved around so much, starting from multiple different teams. He was never the guy like Aaron Rodgers was for the Green Bay Packers, where he had a basis to be upset if they drafted a first-round quarterback or something like that because, y'all still need to be invested in helping me win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Kirk Cousins, he can be mad as long as he wants because who else is going to pay him the money he can pay right now?
Right.
Go ahead and leave if you want. Don't play if you want.
And think about it. He's going to play the 3 years probably anyway.
Right.
I have no idea why he's mad. He just got a great deal because he didn't deserve it. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. I don't know what I laughed at. I probably did laugh at the bumbling idiocracy that was drafting Penix when you just paid all that money.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of Penix. It was because that was a bad decision.
Well, yeah, that was the premise of the the comedy of it. But I just for for anybody to look at the situation, and I think you're right, to look at the situation and say that it wasn't smart for Atlanta to hedge their bet in a sense, because you got to keep in mind, yes, they paid him $100 million. They did that to make sure they got him, because there were a lot of teams in line to get him on their squad, right?
I could see him playing for a lot of teams.
Right.
Yeah.
So they gave him the money to get him in the door. Okay, now we got him, but he's still rehabbing right now.
True.
He's still in the process of healing and getting to a point where he can play. On top of that, he's got to get up to game speed. So he's going to need all those reps in training camp just to get up to game speed, right? Now, what makes that tough is working out the relationship or the rep count between a guy that you invested a first-round draft pick in and a guy that you're paying $100 million to. That's where it gets hard. That's where it starts to really affect, the coaching staff and the locker room and the ownership, that the relationship, between all of them. Because who are you gonna whose bank are you putting your money into?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could see that being an issue. But the team trying to protect themselves from not having any quarterback at all, I think you're right. They had to do it. But back to what I was saying about Keon Coleman, because while I understand what you're saying, you're 100% wrong, and I'm about to tell you why. I'm about to tell you why.
100%, he said.
I don't remember what I said now. What I say?
You talked about you think Keon Coleman is a number 2 receiver, and you talked about all the reasons why you don't think he's a number 1.
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.
I'm getting ready to tell you why you're wrong.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Maybe. Go ahead.
Give me the skill set of a number 1 receiver.
That's hard.
Go ahead.
I'm asking you.
No, go ahead. I'm intrigued.
No, what
what
is your basis for saying he's not a number 1?
If you're gonna dispute me, go ahead and do it. What are you disputing? Go ahead and dispute.
So, hold on.
I'm asking you for the information so I can.
I'll kind of add. To me, that's tough to do.
That's my point.
To get the qualifications of a number 1, because guess what? You got so many different wide receivers can do so many different things, and they're different number 1s on different teams.
Right.
But it's a really good question because there's no defined.
Right. I mean,
100%.
There's no defined skill set to
That's
say,
it.
You know what I'm saying? He's number 1, he's not.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
Now,
what I'm saying, when I say number 1, I can't answer your question because they're like you just said. When I say not a number 1, because if you're telling me that you're going to average, 70, 80 receptions for 800 yards a season, that's not a number 1. It don't matter what skill set is. That's what I see he is.
okay.
So I can't.
Who told you that's what he was going to get?
That's my opinion. I can have that.
I'm not saying you can't have it.
Exactly. So I'm not 100% wrong.
Listen. Do me a favor. Pull up Devontae Adams' scouting report.
I'm telling you right now, he's still a bad boy.
Right.
Even
Still,
in his
to this
30s,
day.
I still take him.
To this day.
Give me Devontae all day.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you say typically a number 1 receiver has got to have a level of strength to beat press man and stuff like that, get off the line? It's got to have some kind of strength to do that, right?
I would say so. The only time where I say it wouldn't be is like your cases like Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Because he don't have to be strong. He's just fast.
He's right.
But you got to have some type of contributing factor that makes you elite, pretty much, either whether it's strength, size, speed. You got to have one of those.
Okay. Do me a favor. Can you read the weaknesses for Devontae Adams?
Lacks ideal functional playing strength to consistently beat the jam. Can get hung up at the line. Long strider. It's not sitting out of his breaks. Production was inflated from quick hitting lateral passing game.
Is he a number 1 receiver?
Right now?
Right now.
Heck yeah.
Okay. He did not get to number 1 status in the league until about his 3rd year. His 2nd year, he showed vast improvement from year 1 to year 2, and his playing time went up from year 1 to year 2. Year 3 is when he popped. That's when Rodgers started throwing the ball to him, because that's also the same time where Greg Jennings was out of the building. Who's the other
Nelson?
kid? Jordy Nelson was out of it was just Devontae Adams at that point. They didn't have nobody else, right? Now, do me a favor, Keyshawn, and go to Michael Pittman's scouting report.
Why are you picking these guys?
I'll let you know why.
Why are we going strengths? Because I mean, are we comparing this to Keon Coleman? Why are we doing strengths?
I'm getting to my point.
He's building up his.
I'm building my case.
Pull this up.
Okay. Building my case. Let me work.
Why am I typing if you're going to work? This all sounds messed up.
No. I'm taking.
I like
you
where this
through
is
it.
going, though.
Yeah,
I like this.
Why aren't you working in?
He is working. I asked him a question. He answered the question.
Everybody knows you're the stat guy.
Right.
These ain't stats.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
You're the stat guy.
This is a damn joke.
Do your
Outrage.
job.
Whoa. Wait just a minute. I'm going to turn into Stephen A. real quick.
Bull jive, Keyshawn. Bull jive.
Look at here's the bull job you got me typing over here.
All right, now.
big press corners can delay his departure.
Hold on. Before
Okay,
you read
now
that,
I got to wait for his go.
Before you read that,
you read it.
Would you say a number one receiver has to have good separation?
Yes.
That was one of the knocks on Keon Coleman, right? Okay. Would you say that at this point in Michael Pittman's career, he's a number one?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read the weaknesses now, please?
No, you read it.
Okay, that's fine. Big press corners can delay his departure. Lack suddenness to elude and burst past early punch. Tight man can hitch a ride early in routes. Takes time to present as a target on intermediate crossing routes. Will always be working with smaller catch windows. Wasn't guarded by Paulson Adebo or Jalen Johnson. Sounds a lot like somebody else we talking about to me, and this person just got a 3-year, $70 million contract, right? Yeah. He ain't getting separation. Devontae Adams didn't have strength, right? So my point in saying all this is, while there is perceptions based on college production, based on who he's been to this point, that tells you he didn't come out of college as an elite receiver or a number one receiver, we've seen, and this is just two of several cases, where a guy doesn't have a certain skill or a certain aspect to his game that he can pick up in the NFL level and become a number one receiver, right? So when we're thinking about the mindset that leads you to say he's a number two receiver to me, like I don't see the basis for that. I don't like you would have to explain what's and this is why I asked you, like what's the skill set of a number one, because I need to know what you're seeing from him that tells you outright he's a number two receiver. And here's the other thing too. It would be very difficult for me to believe that the Buffalo Bills spend the highest pick they've ever spent on a wide receiver in Sean McDermott's entirety of being here as head coach and quasi GM, and they're going to go next year and spend a higher pick on it? They fought tooth and nail to not do it all the way up to this point, and the only reason they did it is because Sean makes an emotional decision to get rid of the only number one guy they've had since he's been here.
The only reason? So you're telling me right now if Steph Diggs was still here, there's no reason Keon Coleman would be here?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is my initial, when we talked about this before, it was you go into this offseason and you draft two receivers, and whichever one of those plays as the number two receiver better, that's the guy you start to develop and work on to become the replacement for Steph Diggs as he regresses in towards the end of his career here. My thought process was Diggs is staying here. You got to draft a receiver anyway to replace Gabe Davis. That guy you draft you should draft him with the mindset that that's going to be your 1B. And eventually, as Diggs regresses, Diggs becomes the 1B, and your draft pick becomes the 1A, and then eventually solidifies himself as your number one receiver overall, right? So with all that in mind, it's like I can't see Sean McDermott going for a first round receiver next year after they've spent what, 4th, 5th, couple of 7ths on wide receivers.
Yeah, they never.
Second is the highest they've gone. And then you telling me they're going to do it higher next year? No, especially when corner is going to be the biggest need. Corner and defensive tackle next year is going to be the biggest need the Bills have, bar none. Unless for some reason they get rid of Deion Dawkins, but everywhere else is going to have a guy that can step in and do something, right? You're not going to have a number 1 corner next year. If you let Rasul Douglas go. And defensive tackle, I'm sorry, Daquan Jones, this is probably his last good season of being, good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So.
Why you say that?
Huh?
Why you say that?
How old is he? Is he 32?
32.
Yeah.
He's a nose tackle. Linval Joseph was 35 and just came off a couch.
Yeah, but Linval Joseph, when he played, was a Pro Bowler, man.
He's a nose tackle. You can play nose tackle at 34, 35, 36.
When you got Linval Joseph strength, yeah.
Daquan Jones could still do it. He's got a couple years left.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something I would doubt. You're not talking about Jordan Phillips. You're not talking about Tim Settle. This is a guy, if you can't replace, you good with. I mean, it is. I mean, my thing when it comes to Keon Coleman, I didn't say he sucked. I didn't say there was a basis. I'm just telling you right now. I feel like in this system, Keon Coleman is going to get a complimentary piece. And it's going to be somebody that will probably be able to do the things he can't do, which is that prototypical X receiver. Mm-hmm. So, but you're talking about somebody who's supposed to be everybody's projecting as a power slot. Everybody, if you listen to people talk, he's a power slot.
Yeah, but everybody don't have access to information that I have or perspective that I have or there's okay. I put it like this. Sam Monson. Sam Monson's an NFL analyst, right? I went back and watched as much as I could on Curtis Samuel when I found out we first signed him, right? One of the things that I've been saying the whole time is he's a deep threat, he's a deep threat, he's a deep threat, right? And I've heard other people talk about, he's not really a deep threat and he makes plays down the field sometimes, but that wasn't what he did in Ohio State. And then here comes NFL analyst Sam Monson getting on One Bills Live saying, yeah, he's a deep threat and he makes big plays down the field, dating all the way back to Ohio State. So, to me, and I'm not saying my perspective is the only perspective, but when I'm bringing out my opinions, I like to support my stuff. I don't want to just say, that's my opinion. And that's why I asked you, like, why are you? What's the basis of you saying? Is it the separation thing? Because we shot that down. Is it the like what is it? What is it that makes him not a number 1?
One thing I could say that I like about Keon Coleman is, and I'm not looking at his attributes, his mindset.
Yes.
In his interview, when he was going over the plays, not only did he know his role, he was, well, if this guy would have did this, then I'm doing this. He already knows the next move.
Yep.
Right? Like, so his mind, like, I love his personality. He plays around a lot. He's real down to earth. But that kid know ball up here.
See, I've seen a lot of guys like that. I've seen a lot of guys that know ball. It just doesn't translate, and that has nothing to do with Keon Coleman.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, I am excited to see the Bills with the helmets on again. I'm excited to see jerseys and running around. But I'm not gonna be duped again. I will. I will.
I said not again.
But when you say that sounds like an emotional decision. Then that sounds like because I've been burned before by Sammy Watkins, I'm not gonna even think about the optimism of Keon Coleman being something.
Not even close. Not even close. That's not what I'm saying at all.
What did you just said?
No, it's not. You didn't listen to what I said. What
did you just say?
What I said was, because this is off. I'm taking the pledge. I'm taking emotion out of it, and I'm waiting. I said, did I not? You
just said I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get something again.
About Keon Coleman.
Huh?
I didn't say Keon Coleman. I said I'm not gonna take this. Means nothing to me. What he's saying in interviews, what he's saying in this and third, it don't mean nothing to me right now. So I'm happy they're doing it. Why? Because I'm taking the emotion out of it. They haven't shown me anything yet.
So what he's saying is, no matter if it's good, he's not getting excited. No matter if it's bad, he's not gonna get disappointed. He's taking it straight out. He's looking at it as it is what it is. I'm not getting emotionally invested. No way, no shape or form in this.
I could believe that if he could tell me what a number 1 receiver was.
You tell me what a number one receiver is. Give me a definition of a number one receiver.
I just gave.
You can't.
What do you mean?
Because you can't. Okay, so
I was the person that got on here last week talking about an X receiver is whatever you make it.
What are you making it? No. What is it though? What's the definition? Because my definition of number one is different than yours.
Okay, you got to understand the purpose of me asking you that question. The purpose of me asking you that question was to get into your mind and figure out what criteria made you say that he's not a number one. Because you're the only person that I've heard say he's a number two. He's not a number one.
I mean, there's no criteria. It's just a thought process. It's a stat that I think he's going to have these stats. I just told you what I think he's going to get.
Right. Okay.
And is that number? Okay. Are those number one stats?
Is what number one stats?
80 receptions, 800 yards, and 6-7 touchdowns.
What are you basing his stats on?
That's where I feel he's going to be right now. So is that a number one?
What did he just say?
So rookie year?
Yeah. Is that a number one?
He said, I feel.
What if he doesn't? I know, but
that's where it's going to be at.
We're talking about emotional now, but what you asked me about was what was it? You said I'm getting emotional. My decision about the OCA was emotional, right? It's not. It's completely not.
Okay, but where's the logic? Like, where's it coming from? What are you basing it on?
It's just what I feel, and that's what. If you listen around, that's what people want to say.
What is the basis of an emotional decision? Like, give me the definition of an emotional decision. Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel he's gonna have 800 yards. Why? It's just what I feel. Like,
we're on two different things. How? Okay. All right. Let's backtrack. I'm not changing my thought.
I love you, bro, but I'm trying to understand.
My thought, but this is my thing. What are you basing? Okay, what are you basing? Concrete. What are you basing he's the number one receiver on? Besides hearsay, what concrete evidence do you have he's the number one receiver in the league?
Okay, I'm not the person sitting here saying that he's for sure a number one.
But you're opposing me, asking me why do I think he's not? I'm asking you why you think he is.
I think he can be.
But why do you? Why though? Huh? Why though? That's what I'm getting at. Like why? Based on what?
I just gave you the reasons why. I've seen other receivers that have similar deficiencies in their game come into the league and become number one guys.
We've also seen Kelvin Benjamin do the same thing in college that he did, and Kelvin Benjamin did what he did. So
okay, so if you would have told me that was the basis for your decision, I would have respected it. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what doesn't make sense. Like if you would have said that, I would have said, okay, logical decision. I get it because I based my decision off a similar point.
But it's not. That's my point. It's not. All I'm saying is a knee-jerk reaction based on nothing because we have nothing to go on.
But that makes it fundamentally an emotional decision. Like if
I didn't say that wasn't. I'm saying I'm not basing the.
Bro, what is going on right now?
On the next episode, will Keyshawn tell us what the emotional
you're
decision?
You're two different conversations.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Bro,
okay, never mind. Next.
No, ain't no next.
All right, because you asked me. You just asked me, and Mel broke it down. He said. Keyshawn said he's not going to be duped again. I didn't say by who. I'm not talking about Keon Coleman. I'm talking about the Bills in general.
Okay, then let's ask the question. What did you mean when you said I'm not going to be duped again? By who?
By watching Stephon Diggs, by watching Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, and watching Terry White getting interceptions. Oh, we back. We got a theme song, the freaking new propaganda video. I'm ready. I'm about to go back. I'm not. That's not going to happen this time. I got to see it in preseason. Okay. I don't care about training camp. I don't care about OTAs. I need to see the team, not Keon Coleman.
Right. Okay.
The team.
Okay.
Keon Coleman, I'll give you that's emotional. But the team, that's not emotional at all. That's taking emotion out of it. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, fair enough. Roy, it's not Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
My hand popped off.
No, it's okay. So I get that point, but so just so I understand correctly, the Keon Coleman point is emotional. You said
that's emotional.
Okay.
Yeah, that's emotional.
Okay.
Because, I mean, honestly, and I'm not going to go back into, like, the whole wins and whys, but if you don't have a concrete basis of what he can do on the next level at his current position, where he is now, you it's conjecture. It is. I mean, it just is.
Yeah, here's the other point about Keon Coleman, too, and I think this gets missed a lot. He was the guy at Michigan State. He was the guy at Florida State. And in both places, he had terrible quarterback play.
That's true.
Terrible quarterback play. I'm sorry. Like the skill set that he had, the athleticism that he had, if you put him in an LSU uniform, the man is, I'm sorry, he's getting the ball, he's balling, he's got a viable quarterback. If you put him in Alabama, if you put him in anywhere where they got any kind of decent quarterback play, he would have produced a lot more. There were analysts that I listened to that talked about Jordan Travis having ball placement issues when he played with Keon Coleman. You know what I'm saying? So there's things like that contribute to the perception of a player as far as their productivity goes in college. But this is why I went to guys like Devontae Adams and Michael Pittman to see what the knock on them was when they first came into the league. Because even a guy like, I'll give you another one, Calvin Johnson, #1 receiver, right? He had issues with separation. He was a deep threat, but he was the first receiver drafted #1 overall ever.
Calvin Johnson, I just felt bad for him.
I get it, but again, the knock on him was separation. The knock on Keon Coleman is separate. And I'm not saying they're the same guy. Right. I'm saying that there's the same or similar criticism on their skill set that people can look at and say, oh, he's not a #1 receiver. So the reason I'm bringing this out isn't even to attack anybody in this room. It's to try and get people to stop having this frame that they put #1 receivers into to say he's not, or he is, or he's this, or he's that. Like, We got to just see. We got to just see. And as you said, the mentality for Keon Coleman puts him at that elite playmaker level because he's not just worried about his job. Right. He's worried about what everybody else is doing, offense and defense, and how he can adjust to that.
Now, so I'll bring in this point too. And I'm not saying that this player is going to be, he's sucker. He's not as good, but Xavier Worthy. I've been hearing how he's been doing in OTA, stuff like that. From what I'm hearing, his mind is not where Keon Coleman's is.
They stole my man's car. It's over with. I went out. I didn't even get to training camp yet. They took my car, man.
But so as far as like plays going and breaking it down, he's not there yet. I'm not saying that he's not going to be bad. He's not going to be good. I'm just saying Keon Coleman, he's already breaking stuff down.
Yes.
Right? Now, I think he will be. Probably not this year, but in a couple years, I think he could be that guy. And another thing I want to say, like what A was saying, I agree with him where people put people in a box. If you don't hit these certain things, it means you're not going to excel in the NFL, which is not true. Another example is Antonio Brown.
Sixth-round pick.
Antonio Brown was probably one of the greatest wide receivers. Like in fantasy, he was #1. He was a beast.
Yeah. He's
short, and he played mostly slot. But he's a #1 wide receiver.
Yep.
Even though most of his stuff was on the slot, he was kind of like Diggs. He can move to the outside. You can put him in the slot. He's going to hurt you wherever he's on the field. He's even a kickoff returner.
I don't understand. To this day, I don't understand why he was a 6th-round receiver. I mean, you're the all-time leader in reception in NCAA history. And you're a 6th round. That's crazy.
What school did he come out of?
He went to Central Michigan.
No, that's why.
I know that, but yeah.
Now, his rookie year, again, he didn't pop because, one thing, I'll say this too, he went to receiver university.
Yeah.
Steelers, I've never seen them draft a bad receiver. I've never seen it happen.
I think that, well, never mind.
But anyway.
Yo, Laura, you ain't have to say it like that.
But anyway, yeah, and Antonio Brown is a huge example. A guy who didn't have the size, didn't have the attributes that make him an X, but he became one of the best.
Laura,
go ahead.
Laura said real quick, she said, I got a random vibe Van Pran Granger is going to be great. I have zero reasoning behind it, and I don't give up.
Heck yeah. Nah.
You're right.
Heck yeah.
No, but go ahead.
That's an easier one to be great at. You're a center. But no, I was going to say with regards to when he said, they don't draft high wide receivers and they still come out good. I was going to say the Bills, they always sit on their defensive backs, and I was like, hire Elam, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only one.
But is he though?
But
is he really though?
Like he nobody's giving him an opportunity.
That's what I'm saying.
We keep saying that if he goes to the Patriots next year, he's gonna be like Stephon Gilmore. Like we keep thinking that because we've seen it happen. But for him to not get any burn as a 1st-round pick, when every time we've seen him play on the field, he's made a play.
Right.
I'm like, is he really though?
Pat Mahomes.
Right.
Like, come on.
Like, what more do you need at that point? It's like Trey White coming in and picking off Tom Brady during Tom Brady's reign of terror.
What did Calvin Ridley? We went through this. Calvin Ridley didn't really do anything like Elam. He had like 3 big catches, and that was it. Yeah. There were 3 first down catches, and he was terrible. Right? Somehow, I don't know. I don't understand that. But he can't get burned after that. After playing against their #1 in London on a week that you botched by having them come late.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's just lunacy. But when you think about going back to the wide receiver thing, I think for me, and I'm trying to get clarity here in my own brain. I think for me, the number one wide receiver, to answer your question, is scheme dependent. You know what I mean? I think it really depends on your scheme. Mm-hmm. And for me to really know what the Bills are doing, I think the number one pass catcher is definitely going to be Dalton Kincaid to me. I think Kincaid's going to have 1,000 yards. I think he's going to have 90 or 100 catches this year. In which case, you got to spread the rest of it around everybody else. So by virtue of that, I still think who was it? One of you guys said, I think it was you, just said Antonio Brown was a slot, but he was the number one.
Right.
Khalil Shakir, to me, is the number one receiver. But I think if you have all this capital and you don't really have wide receivers, you got possibly Valdez-Scantling, you got possibly Kate Claypool. Then after that, what do you really have? You got Tyrell Shavers, you got Brian Thomas, you got what? So
Shorter.
At that point, why wouldn't you? If this is the best team all around the Bills have fielded in a long time. Let's get away from what Josh Allen did, and let's get away from what Stephon Diggs together. Mm-hmm. Because they made the team look a lot better than they actually were.
True.
Last year was our best offensive line we've had. We just upgraded with Van Pran Granger, Laura. Deion Dawkins, he just got a contract extension. He's fine. We got Spencer Brown, who's going to command numbers. And they might want to pay him, but there's nothing changing there. This is the first time we don't have any questions on offensive line.
Right.
Defensive line, you said
Daquan Jones.
Daquan Jones is on his way out, even though he might be. How hard is it to replace a nose tackle? If you have Ed Olivers and Dwayne Carter.
Don't ask me that. How long have the Bills been trying to do it before they found Daquan Jones?
No, I can rebut that.
Daquan Jones has been here for what, 2-3 years?
I can rebut that. Not you, but I can rebut that thought.
What
they never did. They said it, but you can't replace him with Jordan Phillips, who's not a 1T. And we talked about it. They never brought in a true 1T. They just stuck somebody in there and said, "Here, play it."
Well,
and we talked about it.
I don't think they would stick somebody there. Like there had to be some kind of thought process to think this guy can do this job.
But I mean, my point is, if you get a bona fide number one, a 1T, it's not expensive one. Because they're a 1T.
Yeah. So really quick, Roy said it wasn't that long ago when Stevie Johnson was our number one. I don't think anybody would have pegged him as a number one, being a 7th round pick, or even the way he runs routes.
True. He can only do it with Fitz because who came
I get that. Here's a comment from Steve real quick. Steve said number one wide receiver skills basically he's saying the number one skills are so prime he gives coordinators headaches, magnetizes coverage and attention. It's a wide receiver that catches the ball when we all know the ball is going to him.
That's a good definition.
Yeah, I think that's good too. I agree with that 100%.
I like that.
And I do think that Keon Coleman possesses the potential to be that.
Yeah.
I don't think we can say at this point there's nothing that says he doesn't have the potential to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I could see us going through it if I said we're going to draft a replacement next year. I think that's the bigger issue if I said that. But I really think the wide receiver draft is coming up. You can get a cornerback, which you're going to need. You're going to need a wide receiver, whether it's a 1 or a 2. It doesn't matter. You're going to need one. And like I said, you're outlining your linebackers. I mean, if you bring in somebody, this kind of goes into your question about what we do before 2026. N'Kobe Dean's going to be a free agent in 2026.
I like him.
I don't think they're going to let him go, though. Well, I mean, Eagles be getting linebackers like nobody's business.
They might. They go through them, and they make them work. They're like us in the secondary, minus Kyer Elam.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is, if you're talking about Terrell Bernard being in the middle, and that's why I kind of want to do the exercise that you said no, because you didn't want to do a repeat. But
I just don't like copying other people's content.
No, it's funny because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But anybody that watched the Locked On Bills report, they did a series on the top 10 players of the future for the Bills. So the players on the team, but the next guy is to take it. And I was in the shower listening to the series, and I'm like, I'm talking to the thing. I'm like, I got to talk to my Sahab. I got to get at my boys. What do y'all think? But, and my thing was, like you said, Josh Allen, he's 28 now. How much longer? Who's going to be after that? And I'm like, obviously you got guys like Dalton Kincaid, you got Khalil Shakir, you got Terrell Bernard, you got Benfords, people like that, even Cole Bishops. But you're talking about now you're naming like Sid Van Pran, you're naming guys like I don't know, insert running back. But my thing is like, when I thought about it, I'm like, who would the next 10 guys be the leaders? Who are the captains if Josh kind of regresses a bit? And and I listed them out, but for me, I'm like, it really was a thought-provoking thing because I'm like, wow, we got to look at life past, like we just saw after the 24-23 season with Steph Diggs, Gabe Davis, we have two of the 6 captains left.
Yeah.
Who's next? And I was like, in my mind, and it wasn't really a cop-out, but it made me think, I'm like, yo, who is next? We relied on 2 guys so long, 3 guys so long. It's like, yeah. So I mean, I think that'd be fun to do later on down the line. But no, I think for this conversation, it's just you have to get that number. I think that's more so my thought process. You have to get that second receiver, and I don't want any more of these older guys. They trended so well toward getting younger. They trended so well towards, not going after the over the hill veteran that they got to pay out the butt to get to come to Buffalo.
How would y'all feel about if we get Keon Coleman's cousin?
Who?
Sedarian Lamb.
That's his cousin, bro?
Yeah.
Yes.
They just found out.
What?
Yes.
They just found out.
How would you feel?
Yo,
Keon Coleman
I'll be
and
through
Lamb
the roof.
on the squad.
I'll be through the roof, bro. I'll be through the roof.
Rumor has it he's not completely happy in Dallas, but who is happy in Dallas? So
Dak Prescott.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yo, he can't make that money nowhere else.
That's what I'm saying. He's excited.
Listen, but back to A's point though, under this, with being in, I don't know if they make that big move to get a bona fide elite receiver. I don't know if they do that.
Yeah, after they just had one and it put a sour taste in their mouth. I can't.
That's the thing.
And I feel like they use Josh as a scapegoat because, well, he's good. He can make anybody good.
Yeah.
So where we don't have to get the top guy to bring him here because we can get a mediocre guy and make him great.
Yep.
See, I'm with you to an extent. I don't want the top guy, but well, let me put it like this.
You want somebody in that category.
No.
Roy, you just evil.
This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you say top guy, I'm thinking more of like a 31-year-old Hopkins or somebody. I don't want that.
No.
I want the up and comer. I want that guy that's about to get that payment on the next, like maybe even your CD. Even though this year it just can't happen. Yeah. But I mean, when you say a top dog, I'm thinking of a Devontae Adams. I'm thinking of Steph Diggs, of Justin Jefferson. Well, not Justin, he's still young. So, but I want my scouting staff to do their due diligence and find somebody like everybody else does.
Okay, you say you don't want no 31-year-old receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steph Diggs a free agent next season.
I don't want him.
You think Justin Jefferson is too young?
No. I took him out because he's a top dog, but he's still young. So he fits in that CD Lamb kind of category. Yeah. And that was my thing, my grievance about MVS, because I'm like, okay, he's 30 years old or going to be 30, and he really didn't produce like everybody says he produced. He had big catches, but he didn't produce on a regular,
right?
Like they're making it seem now.
To me, like I said, that's why he reminds me of how y'all see Gabe Davis. He shows up in those big moments, but that's it.
I put Gabe way over him.
What?
Way over who?
You put Gabe over MVS?
I do.
Dang.
I do. Because he's shown you a game, or two where he's had 4 touchdowns. He's had 200 yards receiving. He's done that.
Steve, you could probably have a field day with this one.
He also showed you games where he had no catches.
I know, but MVS has done the same thing. They're lauding MVS as a playoff player, but last year he had 3 catches for 26 yards and a touchdown.
He
had more than that. He had like 160
something
yards.
That was 2 years ago, I think.
He's
2 years ago.
Wasn't that 2 years ago?
No, that was last year.
He's weird to me because you only see him in big moments.
Yeah. No, he
MVS.
MVS.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the playoffs last season, he had the production he had because everybody else was hurt. And I think that's the thing that gets missed above everything else. When you have the pressure of the entire team counting on you, and there's nobody else who can make plays on that team but you and Travis Kelce, and they're doubling Travis Kelce.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Teams were not only doubling Kelce, but they would still bracket with a safety after the fact. just to make sure, because like in the playoffs they knew you got Kelsey and Juju's hurt, Sky Moore was hurt, Rashee Rice was playing hurt. Like it was the running back. You couldn't count on Travis Kelce and MVS.
Yeah, last year he had.
That's all they had.
8 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown.
Right, but again, I don't want anybody to look at that like he did his thing last year. He was the only guy that could do anything on the field at that point in time. It's just a matter of volume and opportunity. That's really all it is.
Have MVS or Rashee Rice, not the bonehead Rashee Rice, the one on the field.
For a season or for like
who strikes more fear into your hearts, MVS or Rashee Rice?
So
at this point,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, not Jill, but
So
Rashee Rice facing 8 felonies.
I think MVS shows up when you need him to show up. I'm not confident that I can count on Rashee Rice in those big moments. During the season, he's going to get the production. I think Rashee Rice is going to have he's going to get his numbers. But when I need him to show up, I got to go with MVS because that's all he do. He show up in big moments. So I don't know if I want a guy who's going to be consistent but not show up, or a guy who's not going to be consistent, but when I need him, he's there.
Is it that he? And this is a question because I don't really care. Yeah. Is it that he didn't show up, or that they didn't put him in a position to show up?
Who?
Rashee Rice.
He was hurt.
Okay, so he was hurt too. So
you talking about in the playoffs, right?
Any big situation? Because I don't even watch.
Well, so he didn't start off with the same volume that he got consistently, towards the end of the season. He didn't really start getting a lot of volume until like week 6, if I'm not mistaken. But he continued to gradually get more and more opportunities to catch the ball because they started to see nobody else is making plays. MVS is not who we thought he would be during the regular season.
Tony was dropping everything.
Right. Juju is not who we thought he would be even from the season before. You know what I'm saying? So they got all these guys that they counted on that they weren't getting anything from. Sky Moore wasn't producing. Let's get the rookie out there, see what he can do. Oh, he caught the ball. Oh, he caught the ball again. Oh, he caught the ball again. Right. All right, give him some more. Let's see what he can handle. I think that's really what it ended up being. It wasn't, they saw something in practice and like, oh, let's give him a shot. Like, it's just nobody else is producing last year.
And it'll be interesting now that you got 2 brand new receivers. You have Marquise Brown. You got Xavier Worthy. So we can see what are they going to do now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and that's the thing, like, with the system that KC got, it runs through Mahomes and Kelsey, so they can get, I hate to say it because it pisses me off, but they can really get anybody on the wide receiver and they're going to be successful because they don't need to do a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the Bills worked with Diggs and Allen forever. It wasn't successful, but
you might be right, Roy.
The only thing that I'll say about that is it looked good, Bills and Diggs and Allen, but it just didn't produce.
You knew where it was going. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I say because you knew where it was going, and in the playoffs when they played, good teams, you knew they knew who to play, they knew what you were gonna do before you did it, and it was predictable, and there was no win. For me, I don't want any 28, 30-year-old wide receivers as free agents coming in. No, I'll pass.
Yeah.
So there's. Oh, did y'all watch the entirety of Sean McDermott's press conference?
Yeah. Did
you hear the big screw up he had?
Was this with the allergic reaction?
No. Oh. He slipped up and told everybody what was going on with Micah Hyde.
No.
Oh yeah. So he was asked a question about whether or not he had, there was an update on his conversations with Micah Hyde, and as to whether or not Micah Hyde is, has decided either way, or is, does he have anything on, which direction Micah Hyde might be leaning. So Sean goes on to start saying, well, it's tough when you stop playing, and then he kind of caught himself and he goes. And I say stop playing. I use that term loosely when I say stop playing. Bruh, you meant what you said. You meant what you said when you say stop playing. Stop playing means stop playing. Essentially, you just told the whole world, unintentionally, Micah Hyde ain't coming back.
So you think he's going to do the retire, and if we need you in the playoffs, he'll come back?
Absolutely. I think that's about the only time that he would come back, because that, like, from a quality of life perspective, that's the best case scenario for Micah Hyde. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a family to think about now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't even about, you know, Bills Mafia no more. No disrespect to Bills Mafia, but the man's got to live past his football career with some kind of, you know, happiness and ability to, you know, to be, you know, a father and a husband and all that kind of stuff. So I think if it did end up being a situation where, you know, like if I was Micah Hyde, it would take the Bills making the Super Bowl and not having any healthy safeties in the locker room for me to be like, all right, I'll come back. Because I had already played for the team for 2 years with a bad neck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what more do I have to prove? What more left do I have to give, unless it's for winning the championship?
I look at it. You know what? That's tough, because I'm with you. But my work ethic, believe it or not, is ish. Believe it or not.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
you?
This is where I'm going with this. You would be correct if he was like me, but he was like my dad, who retired and had some health issues and couldn't work. Almost 70 years old, decides he's going to go work again in a call center, high stress position.
Wow.
For what? What are you doing? And I liken that to Micah Hyde, because like a lot of guys, they say, I can't not play. I have to play. I feel, and that was my dad. If I don't work, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
What the hell how does that feel? I don't know, because every day I think about I'm getting day closer to this banging and shutting out of my alarm clock.
See, that's very interesting, because before the Sean presser, Micah Hyde did make a comment talking about how he just Chris Brown had Sean McDermott on One Bills Live, and he mentioned that Micah Hyde was talking about how he just woke up out in the middle of the night and ran a 10K. Yeah. Just because he just wanted to. He wanted to beat his time, right? And that speaks to the competitive mindset that these athletes are they're programmed with for years and years and years, almost 2 decades, if not 3, right? So for him to just, for any athlete that's played the game to that level, for them to just like step away like that, like it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, so when I heard that, I'm like, oh, he might come back, man. Maybe he might come back in the middle of the season just to scratch the itch, maybe skip training camp and preseason and all that, and just get in and just play. But after hearing Sean say what he said and knowing the injury history, and I mean at that point, like, because I'm also thinking about it from Caitlin's perspective. You know what I'm saying? If my wife is listening to me, debate both sides and think about, I know the first thing Caitlin is saying is like, yo, if you break your neck out there, right, don't come home.
Right.
Yeah, but to that point, those are guys who are like, yo, if I die, I'm already dead without this game that I love. And she knows it.
But Gisele Bundchen wasn't buying that, bro.
And what Tom do? He canceled that like Nino Brown.
What I can see happening realistically is a little bit of both. Because, like, I'll give you an example. When I got done with basic training, when I was at home, I still got up at like 5 o'clock and I would run because I was programmed. I was used to it, right? Even though it was only a couple of weeks, my body was used to it.
Yeah.
Micah Hyde's been playing football for years. So when it comes September, and he's not playing,
he's gonna feel weird.
He's gonna feel weird, and all his friends, everybody that he know, all his friends, his closest friends, they're playing in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to your point, wives, they always look out for best for you because they don't care about that other stuff. They're looking at for you because you're their husband, you're the provider. That's what they care about. They don't care about none of that other stuff. If you was broke, most wives, they'll still be loyal to you because that's what you're their. You know what I'm saying? You're it for them. However, I will say this, trade deadline. The reason why I say trade deadline is because knowing Micah Hyde, if you're going to come back, you're not going to come back and play crappy. You want to be at the top of your game. So you want to have those reps. So let you know, like, hey, Sean, I want to come back, but I got to do it. I got to be right when I come back. I just can't come back limping off the couch like, yeah, I can play at a high level because you're probably not going to be able to. And the way his mindset is, I can see him chilling with his family, watching it. His wife is like, she's good down home, but at the end of the day, honey, you're not good. No, I'm not. Go play.
He's sitting on the couch,
Go
hugging
play.
a ball,
Yeah.
talking about that's cover 3, that's cover 3. Get
Exactly.
over it.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's her. I mean, people that know, if you ever saw the movie The Temptations, when Paul was, they kicked him out of the group for the time to get help and get his alcoholism under control. Otis went over to visit him, and he was like, he was out of it, man. He was like, yo, I know the steps. Wow, I remember the line. I got it. Remember, and he stood up and did it to the point where like Otis was about to cry. Like it was so uncomfortable. He said, "Get my son out of the room."
Yeah.
So he's having a breakdown. And what happened soon after? He got drunk, went in the car, and ended his life.
Yeah.
This is, and I'm not trying to insult anybody that's sitting at these tables or anybody watching, but this is why we're here and they're there.
Yeah.
These guys will break a rib, break an ankle, take a shot and go right back on.
Yep.
Break my finger, watch what I do.
Well, I don't know. I'm good, man. You got all kind of surgeries and still trying to go back on and play.
You're right. But see, and the thing about it, and I'm glad, I'm glad you said that, because this is where I'm going to conclude my thought process on Micah Hyde. It wasn't on his terms.
Yeah.
It didn't end on his
That's a
terms.
good
I didn't end on
point.
my
That's
terms.
a
It eats
great
at me to
point.
this day.
Yeah.
To this day. I didn't, and I'm still sitting there. I'm 40 years old. I got a real bad knee, back. I'm a dad, got a gut. I still want to dunk a basketball. I'm like, one day, I jumped and I sprained both calves. I jumped and sprained both my calves, y'all. But I don't know how. Don't ask how. I don't know, but it happened. It's factual. I was walking around with
Listen, this is what they say in the bodybuilding world. If you ain't gaining, you losing.
I was losing. I was losing by gaining.
Right. No, but so I love the points, because I do think it really comes down to Hyde's legacy. And I think that's what we're trying to bring out right now. Is it comes down to Hyde's legacy, and Laura asked, why won't they just announce it and move forward? And didn't Hyde either do a goodbye video at MSG at the end of last season? It's weird. Yeah, I mean, so I think to your point, if he does come back, and it's on his terms, it probably more than likely is going to be after the trade deadline. But here's the other part of that too. He's still got to get up to game speed when he comes back. So even if he does come back at the midpoint of the season, you still probably won't see him until 4 or 5 weeks after he comes back, because he needs the reps in practice, and you know what I'm saying? Yep. So realistically, we would end up seeing Micah Hyde come back for the last 3-4 weeks of the season,
And they're 3 division games too.
But this okay. Let's back this up. What are we talking about, Micah Hyde? Because are we talking about him actually playing or actually being on the team as a backup?
So I'm sorry, I'll get right back to you in a second. Okay, here we go. So Roy said if it came down to playing Hamlin or giving Hyde a call, I'm calling Hyde, right? And then I think
don't leave a man alone, all right?
Steve said would rather have Micah back than McDermott back.
Steve, no, you would not. No, you would not.
Unfortunately, I agree with Steve on that. No, but moving back to the point. What? Roy said, oh. Roy's laughing at you saying if I jump, my man boobs jiggle too much. LOL.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. What? You'll get there. Don't worry. You'll get there.
Hit 40. I was once like you.
So
I was once like you. Trust me.
Exactly. We all were. Over under. I'm sorry. No. You go.
So I think it depends on the look of the safeties. Like if Edwards or Bishop, if they're playing good and they're thriving, he might come back, just in a just in case, right? But if one of those boys get hurt, he was like, yeah, I'm definitely going in. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you said?
What?
Who'd you say a safety?
Edwards.
Uh-huh.
And Bishop.
Uh-huh. You missing somebody, aren't you?
Who?
It's only 2 safety positions.
Who? If one of them isn't playing, is that all we have on the team?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
We have no other safeties?
Nope.
Oh, see, I seem to remember we signed one for 3 years and nobody's mentioning them.
Who?
They've usurped Taylor Rapp with Micah Hyde.
Who's Taylor Rapp?
Exactly. That's what I said. That's what I said. You're not getting me because I said that. I said Cole Bishop go start over Taylor Rapp day one. But I mean, my point is this, and it's funny because I really got devastated. Not devastated, but I was in flux when I heard Mike Edwards is hurt for a month. He's out for a month with a shoulder injury. I'm like, so I went from hating the dude being on my team to saying I can see where he's going to be that roving safety, and he's my starting safety, and I'm not even being funny. And now he's hurt.
Yeah.
Fuck you, mean?
Yo, Roy, you ain't never lied. He said rap, Mr. Friendly Fire. No lies detected, man. That dude, he just go to hit. He don't care who else.
Only person worse is Tremaine Edmonds.
Yo, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I was like, did he hit another one?
over under on Micah Hyde's return.
In terms of weeks or like percentage?
Weeks.
Wait, if it happened at all, or
yeah,
I think it happens.
Well, no. Let me say this. Let's assume that he's going to come back at some point.
Oh, okay.
But how many weeks into the season do you think is going to? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we're probably gonna have one good safety playing right now.
I think I say week one.
Week one?
I say week one.
Wow.
And that's why I asked you, what are we talking about? Because my mind with Micah Hyde is him being that coach on the sideline with pads or being the backup if needed. I don't see him being a starter ever again. I see him playing for vet men, the Jordan Poyer deal from last year. And you're going to be a mentor.
He's just kind of a coach on the
field. You're a mentor, yeah.
So now, did you see him play in that role like Hamlin and who's the other kid where they would give like Micah and Jordan or like a breather? They would bring this guy in, Cam Lewis. Like you see him doing that part time.
Now, if we're talking about that, that's later in the season. Well, I think McDermott harped on the fact that Micah Hyde's in shape. He's in great shape. He's been working out. He's doing this. He's doing that. He knows the playbook. Blah 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 blah. But I don't think he'd be the first man off the bench if one of the safeties went down.
Okay.
Interesting. Very interesting. Roy doesn't think he's coming back.
No,
he doesn't think he's coming back. I think I trust in what I see on Sean McDermott. I don't think you double back and try to qualify unless something you said gives up more information than you really wanted to give up in the first place. I think for him to say when you stop playing, and that was his initial thought, Micah Hyde is done playing. I just even from the logic of Micah Hyde's position of he's proven all he needs to prove, his legacy is intact. He's leaving the game because it's not safe for him to play, due to injury anymore. So I don't think anything about, his image is tarnished. His, none of that. It's all intact, right? So I think that's probably the best thing for him to do for his image and for his health is to just step away. So
I mean, I can see it go either way, but I don't think they'll wait a long time if he is on board to come back. I don't think it'll be week 6 or 7 or whatever the case may be.
I could also see them talking about this into the season though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
To me, the other thing is too, if they're playoff bound and they like McDermott, like he trusts his veterans for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, but if they're not, like if they're out of for some reason they're out of playoff contention, he's staying home. Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
He'd be on a bench or whatever. Yeah, he would retire. I mean, I don't want to say it because he recently passed, but he not mid game, but after week 8 or 9, he announced his retirement. But yeah, I think Micah Hyde will probably be with the team on the team in some capacity.
Sonny Son Brian agrees. He had to get his cell phone situation straight. He says Hyde will be on the coaching squad next season. He'll be giving insight to the defense while on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm with that because like I said, I don't see this is the hang up, and I think Sal and Matt Bove were talking about it. Micah Hyde is not going to come back to Buffalo for vet men. He's not going to do a solid, and we don't have any money. That's the more pressing issue. Are you willing to get rid of people, willing to renegotiate contracts to bring Micah Hyde back? If you're doing that, you're loony. You're crazy. You're asking somebody that's actually on the field to take a pay cut or to rework their contract so you can fit. And that's something that I could see, and I'm worried about McDermott and doing something stupid like that. Onward and upward. Go down with the ship, because you always have an old guy as your reserve. You always have an old guy as your safety blanket. It's time to take that blanket away. Your binky got to go. Micah Hyde, he's your binky. Poyer was your binky. Steph Diggs, you hated him, but he was your binky. Now, you're naked. Now you got to start all over again. You got to wear big boy drawers. You got to do things like everybody else does, and that's kind of why. When you were going to get started on me, jump on me again about the wide receiver, and when I said I don't want a top dog established in the league, because you think about it, every other team that had these guys, Justin Jefferson, they drafted him. Somebody drafted him. Devontae Adams, somebody drafted him. Justin Jefferson. I just said that. Jamar Chase, C.D. Lamb, somebody drafted him. And why is it we're always taking after you're done with them?
Yeah.
Why is it we don't ever draft them to grow them ourselves?
Yep.
Right.
Now, in that regard, Keon Coleman could be a number one. But I don't want to sit here and say right now, today, Keon Coleman's our number one, Curtis Samuel's our number two, let's ride. That's not how I am.
Yeah.
And if we got Josh Allen, to your point about him being 28, man, we got to let's get as many weapons, as many bona fide, not proven. Don't talk me into a weapon. Don't talk me into MV. Don't talk me into Claypool. Don't talk me into to Mac Howell. These guys, I don't care about that.
Right.
I want bona fide weapons, whether it have been Brian Thomas Jr. or Malik Neighbors. This year wouldn't have made a lot of sense because we didn't have a lot of capital to do that kind of stuff with. But next year we do. And next year is when I'm saying, even if that guy that I say could come in and move Keon Coleman to number two becomes a number two and Keon's number one, we still are better for it on a rookie-controlled contract. So if Bean and McDermott are smart, they need to understand why they don't have any money. Because they don't get wide receivers. They don't get skilled players in the draft. Yeah. They go out and pay for them. Von Miller. They go out and pay for I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, they go out and pay for Rasul Douglases. They go out and pay for these guys that are good. They're talent.
Yeah.
But somebody drafted them.
Right.
And you passed on it because they weren't most of them didn't go before you picked. Right. And you passed on them.
So, and this is, unfortunately, we're going to have this conversation anytime we see any kind of success on this side of the ball. But no, Roy, AJ Klein cannot play safety.
I hope not.
You're right.
Listen, what kind of gas you got left in the tank?
But when you talk about the offense having success, it makes me nervous because what does that mean? That means Joe Brady's not going to be here much longer, right? You're talking about bona fide playmakers being on this team to make plays for this offense. We had that when Stephon Diggs first came here and Cole Beasley was first here. What did that get us? That got us one AFC championship appearance, and then poof, it was all over in the span of 2 years, right? And then we saw a steady but not fast decline in the offensive performance, right? So let me ask you guys this. Do we need to try and come up with some sort of scandal for Joe Brady? And I'm just joking with that question. I don't really know. But so if do we really want? Which would you rather have? Would you rather have an above average performing offense and be able to keep Joe Brady here for 5 years, knowing that you have a superstar quarterback that can get an above average team in the playoffs to play like a star-studded offense? Or would you rather have superstars all over the place on the offensive side that are making Pro Bowls and all pro teams, and Brady's gone in 2 years?
So my mind, I don't know why it went there, but when you said that, my mind went to the Patriots with Randy Moss. They had a whole bunch of superstars.
Yeah.
Team was nice. They didn't win no bowls, though.
Who spanked them? Who spanked them?
Let me pull these up. No, pull these stats up for you.
But like I said, I don't know why when you said that my mind jumped there. But when you said a bunch of superstars, like I could see the Patriots, like they were really, really good, but they never won the championship.
Now, okay, were they really superstars, or were they just like great because of their synergy as a team?
Keyshawn, they went 16-0, bro.
That doesn't mean anything. I mean, were they a superstar, the individual player? Because are we talking about some of the parts? Because I don't know who was on the team.
So Randy Moss, Pro Bowler.
We know that, yeah.
Brady Pro Bowler. Like
Wes Welker was still on that team, wasn't it? Or was it?
But see, Welker, that's the thing. Welker's, Amendola's, Edelman's. I don't count them as superstars.
No. But Gronk was on the team.
Yeah.
Randy Moss.
Wait, Gronk wasn't on the team when they lost.
Was he?
No, Gronk ain't older than me. I graduated high school in 2002.
Gronk wasn't on the team with Randy Moss. What year was that?
That was
when they went to Super Bowl with the Giants.
No.
The undefeated season, Gronk wasn't on that team.
What year was that? Because I know the year. I know when Steve Smith caught the ball. I think I was in college.
Bruce Arians was their OC.
Mario Manningham. Was that Mario Manningham with you talking about the helmet catch? Because it's 2 Super Bowls.
No, that was David Tyree.
Yeah, it's 2 Super Bowls. One had Plexico. The
And
other
David
one
Tyree.
was David Tyree.
No,
I don't. To me, those Super Bowls are a blur because the outcome was the same.
No, see, I remember.
You remember them?
The first
the 03 and 04 year. No, they won those years.
The first loss, the first Patriots loss when they had Randy Moss. I was holding him in my mom's living room. He was knocked out.
Sleep, bro.
He was asleep during that Super Bowl.
07.
David Tyree made the big catch, and then Plaxico Burress scored the go-ahead touchdown.
No, 07. That was a perfect season, and they had
Yep,
Kyle
07.
Brady, David Thomas, and Marcellus Rivers. The receiver, they had Lawrence Maroney at running back, Sammy Morris, Kevin Falk,
They did have Wes Welker.
Kyle Eckel. Wide receivers, they had.
Oh, they had Ben Watson. That's right.
Ben Watson.
They didn't have Gronk then, but they had Ben Watson. He was nice.
Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, Wes Welker, and Jabbar Gaffney.
You don't think that's a Pro Bowl team?
Listen to what I'm saying. The team was.
Yeah.
But the players, I'm saying superstars all over.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
That's my point. Like,
their defense was nice, though.
no, yeah. No, they were a good team.
Yeah.
No, they were a good team.
I mean, okay, so Logan Mankins was a Pro Bowler that year. I mean, geez, Kevin Falk was a good running back for them. Lawrence Maroney was he was a rookie that season. No, Lawrence Maroney.
He came in 2000 and 2006.
So the year before that.
No. Well, yeah, 2007. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yep.
So he was in his second season up and coming. He ended up being their number 1 running back after, I think, shortly after this period of time.
I forgot. On the screen.
Ben Watson on that team was great for fantasy. I know you remember Ben Watson. Yeah. Jabbar Gaffney was kind of that like James Thrash-esque type of receiver. You know what I'm saying? Made plays here and there, but was just consistent in taking coverage away. Stallworth was another guy that made plays, but
this is my point. This is where I am, and I'm glad you said this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you said this now.
Oh, here we go.
No, because think about it. What is this parallel to? What have we had for the last 4 years? A quarterback and what? A wide receiver.
That's it.
And because of that, you forget who else was on the team because you thought it was
right.
But we just looked
right.
It was like it's like what do you call it? Mandela effect because we got Randy Moss and Brady. And now everybody was great, but they weren't even there.
Right.
But they had 4 Pro Bowlers on Pro Bowlers on the team. They had Tom Brady on the offense.
You had Mike Vrabel, who was a linebacker. You had Logan Mankins, the left guard. You had Randy Moss and Tom Brady.
No. I'm talking about on the offense alone. You had Logan Mankins was a Pro Bowler. Tom Brady was a Pro Bowler. Randy Moss definitely was a Pro Bowler, and so was Wes Welker. Those are 4 right off the bat.
Right. Okay, but this is my thing. How many Bills do we have as Pro Bowlers? I mean,
2.
Right.
We had James Cook. We had
Josh
Deion
Allen
Dawkins,
and who else?
James Cook, Deion
And
Dawkins.
I don't count Josh Allen because he wasn't there.
Well, he was an alternate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's alternate.
He was on the roster, but he never
But that's
won.
who plays anymore.
Right.
You know, but the overarching point is that because there's 2 great players, the whole team you think is a superstar leading team. Yeah, they're Pro Bowlers on the team, but there's no All Pro besides Tom Brady and Randy Moss. Yeah, okay, fine, that's good, but you're not loaded. They didn't have that running back, that Derrick Henry running back. They didn't have, which when you hear and you think about a 16-0 team, you're like, man, these dudes was stacked.
Yeah.
They were stacked because of the scheme. They were stacked because of how they played together, the chemistry, the culture, whatever it was. It worked for them.
Yeah.
And why is it that we sit here and say, oh, the Bills, we're good because we had these 2 players? You had Gabe Davis on one side when you had Emmanuel Sanders, you had John Brown, you had Cole Beasley here. I'm running out of breath because I'm just going on a tangent.
Right.
But so to Abe's point, like, I don't know if I want a team full of superstars because that don't mean I'm gonna get a Super Bowl out of it.
Right. That's
You
a
know
great
what I'm saying?
point. That's a great point.
I think I would rather, and like to Keith brought a couple shows ago, if I can have decent players in a decent scheme that's gonna eventually get me there, I'll take that versus having a star-studded cast who plays good, put up good numbers, but don't win a championship.
Right. I mean, I get what y'all saying. I wasn't really thinking about Super Bowl. I mean, Roy just took it straight to Super Bowl. He said, F all that, just get a Super Bowl.
Right. When you said it, that's where my mind went immediately. I don't know why, but it just went there.
Right. But I'm thinking about in this particular conversation, I'm thinking about long-term viability because the thought, so this is how my brain works.
Who he's going to let us in? We finally figured it out.
Into the matrix.
You'll never get that far in. And if you do, you probably go crazy before you understand anything you say.
It's scary in here.
Right. No, when we were talking about Stephon Diggs and Keon Coleman and the replacement of Stephon Diggs, my mind went to, man, is it possible that Stephon Diggs lost the ground that he did with the team because he wasn't as important to the scheme or the offensive game plan with Ken Dorsey as he was with Brian Daboll. You know what I'm saying? The coordinator matters to who your number one receiver is going to be as well, right? Yeah. So then I start thinking, okay, well, we got Keon Coleman. Joe Brady's nice with the game plans. What if Keon Coleman does become that number one guy, and we start looking at him like we looked at Stephon Diggs, and then Joe Brady gets a head coaching job, and then all of a sudden Keon Coleman is starting to look like Stephon Diggs did without Brian Daboll. Now he's got beef because he expects to win, and let's be real, he has the same mindset that Steph Diggs has. For a guy to say, it ain't about the jacket, it's about winning these games, that's what's going to make the fans happy. Right. So he's got the Stephon Diggs mindset, I'm here to win championships, right? So that's what I'm worried about, long term. You know what I'm saying? As far as, okay, do I want to start depending more on, just slightly above average guys so that my coordinator doesn't really pop too much, but we're just good and it looks more like we're good because of our quarterback, not necessarily our OC. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because go ahead.
You don't want your OC to leave if he's good.
Right.
You want to keep him.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that's not the nature of the game, but
now I will say this because I just assume like there are situations where they got a thriving OC or a defensive coordinator, but they don't want the head coach and they're cool where they're at.
Magnolia.
Yeah, but I don't know what
not at 30.
I don't know what Brady's thinking though. I don't know if Brady's thinking like, oh yeah, I'm cool being the offensive coordinator, or oh yeah, you know what, I do want to try my hat at head coaching. So I don't know.
If you had a Chan Gailey or something like that,
yeah,
that's where you are. 60, 65 years old.
The old offensive coordinators was like, all right,
I don't want to do it. Like me at my job. I don't want to be a manager. I've done all that work. They offered me a corporate job. I had to travel around. I'm like, I know. Yeah. I'm 6 years left. I'm out of here. I'm not doing no more. Can you train? I don't want to train. I want to come in for my hours. I want to go home.
Yeah.
And that's why Spag said as much. And so I think for me, and it might be unfair, but what we've seen in the past is guys like Brady's, guys like Rodgers, guys that have multiple coordinators as they get older, they become the coordinator. Yeah. And my thing with Josh Allen and his temperament, he's not cocky. He's not the kind of guy that appears to me that will take over and say, hey, shut the hell up, I'm talking. Right. We've seen him in the press conference, hey guys, keep it, but he ain't really saying it. They're like, sorry, Josh. They had that joking thing. But for Josh to ascend, because somebody asked him about, now you are the question elite. What do you say in the Josh Allen press conference? He said something about.
Oh yeah.
He asked him,
leader on his team or something like that.
Yeah, he said, "Is this a reminder that you're a franchise quarterback?" And then Josh Allen goes in to say, I'm still learning this. I'm like, I know. No.
I am the guy.
He said, yeah.
I'm him.
I'm him. He ain't him. I'm him. I made that fool. But no, I mean, he said, it's crazy. I can't believe I'm going to my 7th year. He said, I'm still learning and growing. I'm in my mind, I wrote my notes. How about learn how to and grow on those flat throws and those screen throws? Develop a pump fake. Could you imagine Josh Allen with a pump fake?
Oh man, Ben Roethlisberger made that joint famous.
It would be
bro.
ridiculous. I want to see, and I know you had a question that I think you actually. I thought about it for a long time. I would have sucked at it, so I'm glad you didn't bring it up. But you had a thought you wanted to talk about. What do I need for 2026?
We could just do one thing. But I want to get to these comments before you get to that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Tabonius Lex.
Tabonius,
boy.
my man.
T-Bone. He says, hey, I've been waiting for y'all to post. I'm always at work and catch the tail end on my first break. Yeah, my bad, bro. We put an announcement out. Roy had his bell on because he replied back, and we had a couple of other replies too.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah, my mom yelled at me too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, we gonna turn her bell on for her. We just gonna just find her computer and just turn the bell on for her. But anyway, Mondays and Fridays. We'll try to post some things in between, like some shorts and stuff like that.
They're coming. They're coming. Just know.
All right. And then let me see. Laura says, I gotta root for Brady to be a great OC, even if that means we may lose him. You got such a big heart, Laura. That is so very nice of you. I'm a little bit more selfish than that. I want my OC to stay my OC until we win a Super Bowl. Then he can go somewhere else.
Right. Should be in his contract.
Not leave until you win a Super Bowl.
Right. Roy says, will be interesting to see how Dorsey does in Cleveland. Man,
was it Jameis Winston went to Cleveland?
As a backup, I think.
Yeah.
So they got Watson and Winston?
Winston.
Yeah.
Yo, I wanted Winston here just because.
Just so he can suck his W's?
Dude.
No, he said he plays mad and he's got.
Can you imagine him and Coleman? The personalities in the locker room?
That would be insane.
Oh my God.
That would be insane.
Yeah. So we got 3 more comments.
Go
and then
go.
Okay. All right. So let me see. Steve says, by the way, watch what Chris Sims said about Brady when he first got fired in Carolina. Joe Brady, when he first got fired in Carolina. After 5 games, offense is simple, repetitive, and predictable. I do think that had a lot to do with the quarterbacks that he had. For him to be the passing game coordinator at LSU, in the SEC, and to have, the players that he played with, and an offense that looked like it did. I mean, to me, that just says if you got the tools, and this is really for any offensive coordinator that's worth their weight in salt. If they have the weapons, it's going to look pretty.
If you give me Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, I can make it work right now.
right. But the only reason I think Joe Brady is worth anything right now is because of what he did last year. I mean, he came in and essentially changed an offensive scheme mid-season, or made some adjustments to it that got the team to win 5 of their last 6 games. I mean, that. 8-15?
Yeah.
We got it.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. We got
No. 15.
He just want to leave.
2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
He ain't had no dinner yet. That's what that is. He's trying to hurry up and get home and eat.
He said 8:15.
I told Caitlin to be here at 8:15.
No, 8:15.
Oh snap! Okay.
Normally, my truck is not in the shop, and I don't need her to come pick me up. But anyway,
well, now I got to be hasty because I had a point I had to bring up. Did you see what Terrence Johnson said? I saw it right before we started the show.
Terrence, I didn't get a chance to watch that presser. What did he say?
He said, I think it's perfect for him. I think this is where he's going to thrive at. I mean, he was already a great coach, but now just being able to call the defense, and his football knowledge is so high.
Is this about Babbage?
Speaking of Babbage,
Yeah.
you spoke of leaks. And when you said leaks, I wanted you to let it marinate. I want you to ruminate your point. I didn't want to interject anything, but I thought about this immediately. He said, I think it's perfect for him. McDermott said, keep that in your pocket until mid-training camp. I think it's Babbage's job to lose right now.
I think it's Babbage's job to lose. I love that. I love that.
Bobby B, baby.
Yeah. The players got to have some say about this too. I'm sure the players are going to pull for Bobby as much as they possibly can. Really quick, Dorothy Wright wrote in, I thought before Ken Dorsey was fired, Stephon Diggs was getting 100 yards a game. No, you're right, Dorothy. My statement on Diggs not being as valuable to the scheme was more based upon the premise that Brian Daboll saw Diggs and used Diggs in a way that made him a number one wide receiver. He wasn't that in Minnesota. He was a number two wide receiver in Minnesota because of Adam Thielen being there, right? But when he comes here and he, gets into the scheme with Daboll and he gets used the way that he does, he instantly becomes a top 3 receiver in the league at that point. And then after Daboll leaves, his status is kind of already solidified as a number 1 receiver. But man, there's something about the way that his production came after Daboll left where it just seemed like it was more laborious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. While the stats were there, they got less and less as the years went on.
I think it was Daboll was able to scheme looks away from him.
Yeah.
And with Dorsey, he had to actually fight for every yard he got because
right.
It wasn't there was no intricacy to the offense. It was just throw the ball to Steph or somebody else that's relatively around Steph, but they're gonna have defenses. And we talked about this already. Everybody thought that Steph Diggs was the reason why Josh's interceptions were so freaking high. We proved it was wrong. Yeah. We proved that. We proved that somebody, to the fact that Josh throws interceptions over the middle. Steph Diggs didn't run over the middle. That's it is what it is. Go ahead, you had another comment?
3 more, and
okay.
then I'm gonna ask y'all the final question of the day. Laura says, plus I think if we have a winning record, the OC will get shine whether the offense is flashy or not. That's also a good point. That could also be a thing. I would hope that people are, the talk is, Josh is just kind of taken over and become, the absolute best quarterback in the league, and that's why the Bills are winning. That to me would be great. And then they would look at Joe Brady as kind of like, he's riding Josh's coattails. That's fine. Let them think that. You know what I'm saying? Truth to Hearts. He's been on the show a couple times,
so.
right?
I think so.
Okay. Truth to Hearts wrote in, Josh actually do pump fake. He hasn't did it at all last year, barely the year before. Go back and watch. He definitely uses pump fakes.
What I hate about I'm sorry, go.
I've seen it like once or twice. I haven't seen it a lot.
Josh does pump fake a lot once he gets past the line of scrimmage, which makes
zero sense
to me.
He does it to try and get the linebacker to jump so he can.
And I'm like, stop.
You talking about from the pocket the way Ben Roethlisberger used to use it. Yeah, to get safeties to move and stuff like that. Yeah. We need that. He also wrote in, the Bills need to have an assistant head coach as an offensive coordinator.
Yes, I agree, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. So I'm not saying you're an idiot, but I think the people that were opposing that statement is an idiot for not having one.
All right, so
your question. I had a quick question for not for you. Well, actually, okay. This keeps popping up in my news feed, and I need to know. Do you guys have at home? Do you guys have a favorite player short, mic'd up meme, anything that like anytime you think about mic'd up or something like that, you just have to watch it.
Buckle your chin strap.
Buckle your chin strap?
Buckle your chin strap.
No, which one is that?
You don't know which one that is?
No, they might. Which one is that?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith?
Yeah.
Mine lives rent-free in my head.
What?
And everybody knows it. Malik Jackson. Set edges! And he's running. He's like, when Le'Veon Bell crossed him up, and he's like, beep. He said, dang, near broke my ankle, man. What was that? I gotta show it to you. You never saw it?
No.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna post it on something so you can see it. Yeah. He was on the sideline. He's screaming. He's like, set edges, and then they run the ball. He's like, he runs in and like he's setting the edge.
Yeah.
But he crumpled up in half in the process. And he really said the most effeminate, he said just like that. Junior, am I lying? He's like, hey, you have me looking stupid out there. I'm gonna broke my leg.
Oh my god!
You have anything like that?
No? I can't think of anything right off the bat right now.
Everybody at home, please put any comment. If you can think of one, I want to watch them tonight. Just put them in there so I can take a look at it.
All right. So
your question. Go ahead.
Really quick. I'll just do one. Just give me one thing in your mind that's the top thing that the Buffalo Bills need to do before the 2026 season. What's one thing the team needs to do before the 2026 season opens? Get a ring? Yeah. They need to do that? That would be nice.
Before 2026?
So basically they got this season and next season.
Mm-hmm. I need to find out who is my number 1 and number 2 cornerback. I need solid 1 and 2 cornerbacks, so I know I'm coming in with these 2 guys.
Now, let me ask you that. Everybody is so dead set on Christian Benford being the best cornerback on the team. And I'm like...
Well, says who?
There's a couple people.
Like, what plays has he made?
I mean, he's like that solid guy. He's not the flash.
He's like Levi Wallace. Guy. I know.
Yeah, he's a little better. I think he's better than Levi.
I agree with that.
He's a consistent guy, but he don't get those playmaking plays.
Right. Yeah, he don't make Kyrie Elam plays.
No.
I mean, yeah.
He don't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not a Kyrie hater at all. Let's just get that straight. Yeah. I'm just defeated by the fact that Smith's never going to see the field as a Bill. He's just never going to see the field as a Bill in any earned snaps. I think for me, it goes into the locked on Bills piece. Seriously, and I'm not going to go back into it, but I think for me, it's establishing the changing of the guards. It's establishing the new school. Who are the leaders that are going to take us onward and up? Who are our new beginning if Brady leaves? If Babbage gets a job somewhere, because defensive coordinators are getting jobs now. Who's the leader who are the core that Josh Allen's going to be 30 years old in 2026? He's falling out. He's slowly falling out. It's time for somebody else to carry the torch. And I think they need to establish that before they go to a new stadium, because think about it. You're going to have a wall of fame. You're going to have probably Jordan Poyer up there at some point soon. You're going to have Micah Hyde. You're going to have all these guys up there. But who's on the field? Right. It's like when you play Madden and you play so long. Aaron, I know you know this. You play Madden to the point where all the people that came on the game are gone. Yep. They're not even there no more.
Yep. I've done that.
I know. Who's the new staples?
There?
Who's the staples?
Yeah. So I think that's pressing, because the team we're purging the old. They purged most of the old. And now we got to find out with this new group who's going to take us to the next generation.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Let me see. Of course. Steve, I probably could have said this for you, because I know. I already know. One thing, fire McDermott. So easy. Truth to Hearts. New unis. I like that. New unis would be nice.
Mel would be ruined.
I think we do.
Mel would be ruined.
Yeah.
How you say that?
Because all the jerseys you got.
Huh?
All the jerseys he got.
Hey.
Oh, man.
I never get rid of them, man.
Yeah, you don't need to, because guess what? They're going to come back out at some point. Right. Some variation of them's going to be right back out, and you going to throw that bit right back on.
And I 50 Mel be like,
I got that one.
He'd be sitting on the recliner like, wait, what did you say? Hold on, 1 second. The 2012? Oh, I got that.
Oh, man. It's an investment 20 years into the future, okay? Leave me alone.
It's better than stock.
Oh, man. Let me see. Truth to Heart says new unis, but Sabres colors. Why would they do that? The Bills have never had Sabres colors, have they? Nah.
They've always been red, white, and red.
Let me see. Roy said, isn't the new stadium supposed to open? Yes, it is. For the 2026 season, it is scheduled to open in 2026. The alternate unis. Yeah, but I don't know if they would have I don't know if they could get the licensing to do something that was never. So he's saying he meant the alternate unis.
The helmet would be an issue because you can't change your helmets, but I could see the jerseys as a it's like a color rush.
I thought they had to. I thought that's the only way they can get a new jersey. If they got to get a new helmet, they got to wear a helmet with the new jersey.
Well, what I'm saying with the alternates, you can't have you can't have a different helmet. Yeah. So if they did the blue and gold or something like that, you had to have a red, white, and blue helmet still.
Right.
That would look tacky. It'd be fun to watch, though.
Laura says, I'd probably say establish a really great O-line, because as Josh gets older, he's bound to run less, pocket pass, etc. I love that point. That's something that I've wanted the team to do from day one. When I looked at what the Cowboys did with Dak Prescott, I said that is how you protect a young quarterback. They had the run game. They had like 4 studs on that offensive line, and they had a star receiver for him to throw to that couldn't be stopped. Like, that's how you build an offense with a young quarterback.
No, this is my only thing with that. Josh is the only problem with that.
Yeah, he not.
Josh is like,
there.
he ain't trying to sit back there and pocket pass.
Right.
That's the problem. And no, you're right. I mean, we talked about it. Somebody can just sit back there all day and just decide where they want to go with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that gives you confidence and everything.
Eventually, I don't care how bad Josh don't want to do it. When them years start to get up there, he's gonna have to. He's gonna be forced to. He's like, all right,
that's when he
I want
retires.
to take off there, but nope, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to sit there and pass.
That's when he's like, can't do it. I'm leaving the game.
Oh, it felt good, but no, I can't do it. Nope.
When he hits that point where he's got to check himself, he got out of bed. Not retired. I'm good. See y'all.
Yeah,
it's coming.
So Roy says, I want to see Kyle Williams on the Wall of Fame when the new stadium opens. Are they going to do Wall? I don't know if they're going to do Wall of Fame.
I think they're going to have a ring of honor or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably going to be outside of the stadium, like like the memorial wall.
Yeah, that might be a little easier because people can take pictures and stuff
I
like
think
that.
Kyle Williams qualifies.
100%.
He qualifies.
100%.
He qualifies. He was like, I don't know.
What?
he has to, but I mean, whatever.
Just because of who he was through the drought,
That's
man.
my point.
Come on.
Screw that. Screw that. We're a new team now. We're not the lovable losers anymore.
All right. So I think if I had to pick one thing, honestly, that I think they need to do, I think they need to change the defensive scheme. I think they need to get out of nickel. I think they need to go back to cover 2 or Tampa 2. Either one I'd be fine with. I think they have the linebackers already to employ a system like that. But I think that scheme coupled with a different defensive line scheme, because I think the way they play nickel and the way that they build their defensive line, they kind of take all of the brunt of an offense's, of the opposing offense's, rush attack. That's a lot to put on 4 guys or to put on 11 guys and expect all those guys to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen year after year after year, the starters always get hurt, always. And then what happens is the backups come in, they're not as good, the defense is not as productive, and then what happens? A linebacker gets hurt because of it. Right? Last year, both our guys got hurt because of it. So, for me, change the defensive scheme, get an extra linebacker in there so that you're stronger against the run, and as long as that guy is one of the 2 guys you drafted, Ulofoshio or Dorian Williams, you know those guys are good in coverage. You know those guys are strong against the run. That's your weak side linebacker. That's your strong side linebacker type right there. You know what I'm saying? Get those guys in there. Make it easier on your defensive players to win, playing downhill as opposed to having to react to everything. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the necessity of we have to play everything zone and the defensive line has to beat the run by itself. Essentially, right? I think what also tends to happen with the Bills too in this nickel scheme is when you play a nickel defense, most times you do that because the other team is playing 3 wide receivers. And I promise I'm gonna get out of here. Just give me 1 second.
No, you're good. I was looking at my flights. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So when an opposing offense plays 3 wide receivers, you play nickel because you want to be able to put a body on a body. Mm-hmm. You don't want the mismatch of their receiver running up against your linebacker, right? So if you're doing that, you're either gonna play a zone scheme where you're covering the receiver to a certain point and you're scheming the pass off to the next defensive player, or you play man. It doesn't make sense for you to play zone as much as they play. They almost primarily play zone.
You're in zone defense.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so what ends up happening is when they get more than one receiver on an opposing offense that can beat a zone, now they're in real trouble. Because the zone is not zone. Most zone schemes are not designed to take away 2 and 3 receivers.
Right.
They're not. And if you're not building your defensive line to penetrate consistently and to penetrate no matter what the offensive line does, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And this team can't build its defensive line to only penetrate because they also depend on them to run stop too. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's a very flawed, system logically. So change that, get that out of here. No, I think Babbage could probably come with some adjustments, Roy. He says new defensive scheme means no McDermott probably. I mean, my hope is McDermott kind of just takes more of his hands off the wheel and just focuses on head coaching. Just focus on head coach. We don't need to run your defense. Get a good defensive coordinator to come in here, let him run his system, and you just I can't even say be Andy Reid. Who could he be? Who's out there that was a good coordinator but is more
Belichick.
of a huh?
He could be Belichick.
He could be Belichick. After a while, Belichick was like, "Yo, defensive coordinator, do your thing." You know what I'm saying? Let's see some more of that. Roy says, "I'll be checking the police blotter." Laura, what did Laura say? Guys, it's always a pleasure. I will catch the rest on replay. Gonna get into some Friday shenanigans. Oh, she put the devil emoji, the evil emoji with the horns. All right, have a good time. Enjoy.
And don't forget to tell me what drink you're drinking.
Yeah. I
want to know.
Nice and warm out. Listen, get if you're in Buffalo, get your fun in tonight because it's gonna be raining all next week and this weekend. Steve says Babbage is such a better coach than McDermott.
Maybe he will be the next coach.
Yeah. I'll take that. All right. I gotta get Keyshawn out of here before T gets upset at me for getting him fired. So
I wasn't ready for that one.
All right, if you hear that music, that means we are in our 90-second run out of here. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. We keep getting more views, more subscribers. I just thank from the bottom of my heart, man. Like literally, thank you because the amount of energy that I know y'all put in way more than I do. I don't have enough time in the day to devote everything to this, but whatever spare time I have, I'm watching videos. My wife will tell you I'm taking notes and stuff like that so that I can make sure when we come on here, we're giving you the best we got. And that's what we're here to do. So I just wanted to say that, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling,
so that you can get notifications when we send notifications because things be happening, man. Things be happening. People got jobs and got kids and got things that just be popping up. It's just what it is.
We be all right, though. We gonna get it right.
Right. So with that said, Mac, you got anything else before we get out of here? All right, cool. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Back.
And this is Keith.
And we will see y'all on Monday. Peace.